We are live. It should be live for this St. Patrick's Day Irish card. Never Goon is here. Thank you. I don't know. It's a bit random. It's Sunday. It's late. This is a US card, you know. This is a US card. You know, who knows? This is for the Irish fans. We've got Callum Walsh, who's a super prospect from Cork. Thomas Carty, who's a heavyweight, fighting some huge buck. I'm just trying to find a stream. Now, the problem is, if I can't find a stream, it starts at 10 p.m. UK time. So we're in 15 minutes. Owen Foster, good to see you as always, Chippy. Good to see you, brother. Chucky Allah. If the streams are not happening, then I might have to buy. I like the grey colouring. Which part? Hang on a minute. What, the Triple B's grey? Is that what you mean? I can't see it. It's not always reliable. Rooting for my Irish brother. The guy's fighting looking like he trains at KFC. Oh, the fat guy. Daquan something. 409 pounds. He's already lined up to box the big Gug, who's another fatty. But yeah, I mean, like, this guy's a disgrace, man. He's not got a bad record, but, you know, it's a disgrace. So I wait till 10 o'clock. If my streams are not working, I'm going to buy it. UFC Fight Pass, I'm going to buy it. It costs £7, right? Because otherwise, I can't talk about the fights. I don't even know. So I've got all these streams, allegedly. But, you know, let's be honest, right? They don't always work. And if none of them start, right, then I'm going to have to buy it. $6.99 it will cost me. But that's what I do for the funds. So we'll wait and see. I've got 5 streams, 5 different streams. It's Corey time. £409. Yeah, £409. Like, let me look at his record, right? It's not that bad, crazily enough, right? His name is Daquan something. Daquan Johnson or something like that. He obviously is very greedy. Daquan Callaway. It's an 8-rounder. Okay. His record is 10-3-0. That's not a dreadful record. You know, this fat piece of shit. So this is him. Hang on. This is Fatty. You saw it. If you saw did he manage to see the intro? Well, you'll see what a fat piece of shit he is. But he's got 10 wins, 8 KOs, and 3 losses. Only 1 by KO. So, I mean, has he beaten anyone decent? I'm sure he hasn't. But no, he lost to Antonio Mireles, who's about 6'9" in 6 rounds. The last guy he beat was unbeaten, Jardé Anderson, at 5 wins. So he's not dreadful, even though he's fat. I'll tell you what he weighed in his last fight. He weighed in at 401 pounds. So he's put on 8 pounds, which basically is just a bucket of KFC for someone that fat, or it's a dump. Yeah. Well, yeah, as I said, bro, Owen, 10 wins, 8 KOs, 3 losses, 1 by KO. Inversion. Hey, great to see you, bro. Would you like me, my St. Patrick's Day gear today? Right? Chucky Allah. This is for the Irish fans in Ireland and Irish people around the world. You know, I don't know how many people of Irish descent there are around the world. There must be about 10 million in the UK. There must be about 50 million in the USA. But if you look at the banks and the CEOs of big companies in the USA, so many of them are of Irish descent. And presidents, Kennedy, what's that bum called? Kerry. Well, he didn't become president, but still. Yeah, you know, there's a lot of power in Irish hands in the United States. Carty looks in great shape, by the way. He always looked a bit chubby, but he's looking in great shape. The other guy, this guy's who Wilder would have been fighting at the beginning of his career. You remember that really fat white guy he fought? And I think he knocked Wilder down. Well, you know, without the PEDs, Wilder was nothing. You know, and without the titanium rods inserted in his hand. You know, that's one of the reasons he got so much power, because he had titanium rods inserted, right, in his hands and his forearm, allegedly because he had a break. But, you know, you imagine the extra power hitting with that. You're streaming on 5 places. What do you mean, man? Is that what it says? Hopefully not. Hopefully just YouTube. Can you explain more inversion? It looks good, but it's backward, like the Ivory Coast flag. Oh, okay. See, it looks all right to me because... Oh, that's a great point, inversion. It looks all right to me because, stupidly, when I look at my screen, it's inverted itself. Inversion, it's inverted. So I need to turn it around. So it looked right to me because I'm looking like in a reflection, right? That's correct now, right? This is correct. Evening should be 8:50 a.m. in Melbourne. Great to see, bro. Are you getting ready for work? I remember the fat guy Wilder got dropped by literally a fat middleweight. Nordic Warrior would beat him. Yeah, I mean, as I told you, the only reason Wilder performed well was because he had titanium rods in his hands and because of PEDs. You know, if you look at it as an amateur, he didn't knock out people all over the shop like that. Jake Paul would beat him probably. That's cool. Yeah, this is the correct way. Sorry, bro. Like I said, it's all inverted. So quite often, even like the banners and stuff like that, I'll be talking, and my face will be in the banner when I look at the replay. Whereas on this screen, on this screen here, my face is not near the banner, but on the replay it is. If I look like this, my face is covered by the banner. But in the replay, it isn't. Does that make sense? It's all inverted, like this world, like the world is inverted. Can you tell me about these 5 streams inversion? What's this, man? You're streaming in 5 places. I definitely haven't picked that. I don't want to be. This is my only, my only channel. I don't go on Rumble. People have talked about Rumble, but there just aren't enough viewers. People have talked to. I could actually do I can stream to Rumble here and Facebook and whatever. I don't have no Facebook or Instagram, but, what's the point, man? Oh, I misheard what you said. You said something that sounded like that. Oh, okay, that's cool. Disco Dave, Wilder's a strange one. Just about won a world title on points from Mr. Blobby after banging everyone out with a Corey power on matchstick. So he is a strange one. He could obviously punch, but like I said, I can punch. But if I had titanium rods in my forearms and my hands, how much harder could I punch? And if I got on the PEDs, like, as I said, this trainer took me on the pads and he was like, man, you got some power, blood. And I said, imagine if you put the Triple B on PEDs, all right? I reckon I'd knock out Otto Wallin. And I mean that. I'm not even joking. Especially if I told him I was a person of color, then he'd be too scared to hit me. What a bum he is. Right, let me check these streams, see if anything's happening. Like I said, if the streams are not, if I'm not getting no love from the streams, I'm gonna buy it, because without the fights, there's, how can I commentate on a fight that I can't see? I mean, obviously I don't state the obvious. So far, I've just got a pair of big titties staring at me. A technical issue. Please reload page. Okay, I'll reload the page. Oh, the same thing. This one again. Cannot play video. That's meth streams. VIP box. VIP box. Let's have a look at VIP box. Yeah, I'm not getting no love from that either. So I might have to buy it. You also use meth streams? I mean, yeah, crack streams, meth streams. They always get taken down and then they reappear, you know? It says VIP box. There are no boxing at the moment. Okay, so this is, I mean, another VIP row this time. Technical issue. Please reload page. I mean, this is not looking good. I'll wait till 10 because that's when the build starts officially. If at 10, crack streams. Can't play video. Anyway. Right, if it ain't working, I've got to buy UFC Pass, which is like $6.99. Do you reckon Malik Scott sucked Wilder's cock? Honestly, Disco Dave, you're worse than Tyson Fury, bro. Sucked Wilder's Corey to the trainer's job. They both come across fruity. I mean, Wilder's fruity. As I said, I think a lot of it, all these black fruity heavyweights, I think it's because the PEDs increase the production of testosterone, right? It increases production of testosterone in the body, but the body counteracts that if you have too much test by producing estrogen, which is a female hormone. And this is what makes them fruity, in my opinion. Or, you know, as well, they're just, you know, naturally weird and they're following the agenda. Them streams are okay, but buff too much. Yeah. I always use pirated streams. See, I've got free TNT. I buy DAZN because I bought it a year ago because I really wanted to watch a fight a year in advance, and it cost me $9.99 a month. But I will say DAZN I'll probably keep, to be fair, because it is the home of boxing. As Adam Sports says, it's the home of boxing. You will now get Warren's gone over there, Hearn's there, Turkey goes through DAZN. So if it stays at a reasonable price, you remember when it first started, it was like $1.99 a month, man. But if it stays at a reasonable price, I'll keep DAZN because and also you can replay things. So if it's a late night American show, I get up. I'm not staying up all night. What was the last American show I stayed up for? The last one was Ryan Garcia vs. Devin Haney, and I didn't stay up for it. I just woke up at like 5 in the morning. I thought, hey, let me check it out. And then I saw Ryan beating up on Devin, and I was like, I gotta watch this now. I stayed up. I did a live at 10 a.m. and got my drink on. Wilder wanted to become pregnant. Yeah, he said, oh, I want to be a woman to become pregnant. What a weirdo. Dillian White's fruity, yeah, with his husband. YouTube didn't alert me. They bunch of CUNTs. It's typical, bro. I have it all the time. I heard UFC champion Rampage Jackson. Yeah, he apparently, I know what you're going to say. He apparently said White tried to grape him in the shower. Only a rumor I heard. Yeah, he said that. I did a video on this. I did a video on Dillian White's husband. You know, that huge buck, Dean White, and it's not even his real name. Big up to be in the chat, gang. Yeah, big up, everybody. I'm going to wait till 10:05. If I haven't got a stream, I'm buying UFC Pass. I shouldn't even probably be speaking on this. But, you know, imagine if you were a proper boxing fan, yeah, and you wanted to watch every boxing match, and you were completely 100%, you know, legal, your bill would be about $1,000 a year with the pay-per-views, you know, with DAZN, TNT, Sky, all these things together, UFC Pass. That alone, that's $1,000 a year, right? I love boxing, but come on, bro. Semen retention while training and the PEDs. High testosterone levels making them crave for Corey pie. It's definitely weird. All them hormones, they've got to mess with you. You can't take a bunch of hormones and expect to be completely normal. I told you the Dynamo story. It didn't make me fruity at all. And apparently it's meant to make your nuts shrink. This didn't happen because I was taking a bunch of other supplements, natural ones, that boost your test. And I have a friend who's middle-aged, and he takes all these natural supplements and goes to the gym, and he has testosterone tested again, and it was that of a 21-year-old. So you don't even need these PEDs. But if you take all kinds of hormones, of course it's going to mess your body up. To be fair to White, he was right about Joshua in the past. He came off as cringe. I quite like Dillian White and Chisora. You know, they speak their mind at least. You know, I mean, they don't always get it right. They can be a bit weird, but they speak their mind. There's text evidence for Dillian's stuff, and Dean is called Lamar Scott, right? I've done videos on this. You can check it out on my channel. Among other names, his boxing promotion is under a different name again. Dean White is definitely, he's massive as well. Massive. He towers above Dillian. I don't know who's the biatch, who's the plug, who's the socket, who's the shirt lifter, who's the pillow buyer, who's the mailbox, who's the mailman. I don't know, man. But I will say this for sure. Gay J is obviously fruity, and Leon Skinner, who's this really camp kind of guy with long hair, it was kind of a hippie. He's kind of a hippie type, a failed actor. And he's got all this money, even though he hasn't made any money from any sources that can be that can be attributed to him. It's basically Gay J's hush money. And he's definitely the top, Leon, aka Skin smashes, because these big guys can be very psychologically disturbed. And they're like, oh, I spent all day being a big man and muscular, now I'm going to be the bitch. I bet Gay J sits there whilst Otto Wallin watches the action in the cuck chair. Otto's in the cuck chair. Let me watch the action, Anthony. And he watches Leon Skinner smash his batty. There's no good American heavyweights anymore besides Richard Torres. The rest are washed. They are. Andy Ruiz is one of my... On the one hand, he's my biggest disappointment because he's so talented. On the other hand, he battered Gay J. So, but, you know, in the rematch, couldn't even bother to train. Well, that's why he failed the test, didn't he? He slapped Ben Shalom's hat off. White and Chisora seem okay people, but seem aggressive for no reason. That's because of the Dynaball. I told you, when I went on Dynaball, I flipped. I was fine until someone started me, and I flipped, and I was like, I never want to be this crazy again. I never want to be this dangerous again. You know, it's nuts, man. I'll binge watch your last two streams. Thank you, Inversion. God bless. Okay, so let's try these streams, see what we've got. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to buy UFC Pass. All I've got is a bunch of titties. You know, the adverts. Let's see what they got. VIP. Sorry, guys, but, you know, yeah. I think I'm going to have to buy it. I think I'm going to have to buy it. Oh, hang on. No, I can't play stream. Yeah, I mean... It's just the way it is. Some things will never be the same. All right, okay, let's buy this thing. $6.99. I want at least $6.99 super shekels. Right, what am I doing? Monthly. Okay. Oh, this makes my skin crawl. And I've got a blood clot. I've got to what's it called? Cancel it as well before the month is out. I wouldn't watch it otherwise. I mean, Dana White's meant to be getting into boxing, isn't he, with Turkey? But he can't. It's impossible to replicate the UFC model because of the Muhammad Ali Act, amongst other things. Let's hope I got the right. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. Okay, I've just paid for it. I've just paid for it. Andy Ruiz reminds you of Chris Arreola. Vladimir matched up against Arreola, and Chris decided to eat junk food. He cried when he lost. Yeah, Arreola's another disappointment. A lot of them Mexican dudes, Mexican-American dudes, they're obsessed with food. You remember Alex Garcia? He was meant to fight Foreman. He's meant to fight Foreman. Okay, come on, biatch. He's meant to fight Foreman, right? And come on, biatch. His men fight Foreman and offered him £500,000, which at that point was a lot of money. Okay, £500,000. And what? Go to preferences. Oh, use mobile data. Oh, come on, man. All this technology just makes your life harder, bro.
Carty, the #1 boxing heavyweight prospect out of Ireland, Thomas Carty.
Okay, there you go. I have to turn the volume off though. But yeah, the #1 prospect out of Ireland. There's only 2 pro fighters, a heavyweight from Ireland. One is Thomas Carty. I'll try and find a stream for you. Sorry, inversion, man. Anadrol's the best oral steroid. For what reason? Does it make you bulky, like a bit chubby? Garan. Hello, testing is superior for strength. What's best for cutting? It's clenbuterol, right? Clenbuterol. It can make you quite aggy though. But Danabol is the real roid rager. Sonia Blade, what are we buying? I'm buying I'm buying the live because I said I would comment on it, so I've got to be able to see it. No, that's okay, man. It's $6.99. So if people can be generous enough to give me £6.99, that covers the bill. Areola, isn't that like a nipple? Says Sonia Blade. Yeah, it's the bit around the nipple. You know, the little bud bit is the actual nipple. The kind of dark bit around the nipple is called an areola. You're correct. But I think it's spelled different. Aureola. Oh, here comes this huge buck. The enormous, huge, fat buck. Look at the state of him, bro. Look at the state of this giant buck. He's very fat. But like I said, his record ain't too bad. I mean, to be honest, how base is the UFC? Sorry, Dana White is conservative, but he loves Iza and has trashy interviews like Nina Drama. I don't know who Nina Drama is, but, you know, she sounds like some hoe. I would say, I mean, he likes to bring Donald Trump to the fights, but Donald Trump is owned by Iza anyway. So I would say he's one of those controlled opposition guys that pretends to be based and right wing, but really he isn't. But at least he called out Oscar De La Hoya for being a freak. So they're giving this fat guy, Dejuan Callaway. Look how fat he is, man. He's like about as big as John Fisher. Do you think if I showed it to you on the screen, would I risk copyright zapping? Probably. So I'll just describe it as it goes. We can just talk boxing. I'm hoping to get some fans from Ireland in, from Australia, from Asia. They should be awake. I bet this. Oh, the ring announcer. I bet he's a friend of Shalom's. Or you know, it's Thomas Triber, David Greenblatt. They're all the same, isn't they? Critical Eye MMA makes poll red pill videos like RP MMA. They're both Irish. Okay, I'll try and. I haven't got a pen. Usually I note it on my phone, but I'm watching this bill. UFC is under the control of Ari Emanuel, whose dad wasn't. Well, yeah, he got bought out, right? He got bought out, didn't it? Here comes Thomas Carty. I like Thomas Carty. I got some Irish funds, and they say Thomas Carty. There's loads of Irish guys. It's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. So there's loads of Irish guys. Thomas Carty's trainer. It looks like the black guy who was on Nick Ball's corner, tall guy, and he wears one of them like the Utes wear, one of them like Louis Vuitton bags to show that they're a dealer. Smash up like fellas. Smash up the like, fellas. Yeah, hit the like. If you haven't subscribed, you can't comment. And that's to keep all those annoying people that spam the comments in. And I've got 10 seconds. I got a 10-second, what's it called? Commentary, suspension or whatever, because otherwise you get spammed by these kind of idiots Thoughts on people who say that sports is a distraction. It is 100% a distraction. It's called bread and circus. Oh, look, he's coming. He's coming in with his. I'm sure I can show it quickly. He's coming in with his. Wearing his. It's like this. He's like this. He's wearing this, but it goes all the way to the top. It's like a proper. He's got 2 holes and it goes all the way to the top. Like in my thumbnail. So he's man bags GAY. I agree. What's the worst form of bread and circus? Oh, football, EastEnders, Strictly Come Dancing. But yeah, so this Roman philosopher, Greek philosopher said it was all you need to do is provide people with bread and circus, entertainment and food, and you can do what you want with them. He actually should have said shelter, because you need shelter. If you've got shelter, food, and TV, you can do what you want with them, basically. So it's an 8-rounder. Carter's got 10-0 with 9 KOs. He's one of my Irish friends knows him, and he says he's quite based. He said he'd probably be the kind of guy who'd have the balls to come on the show. But we'll wait. He's going to get past Juan Callaway, 409 pounds of KFC eating. Look at these slappers. Look at Juan. He did Juan Callaway, shit, from Cleveland, Ohio, and shit. He's just sitting there and goes, let's get this over with. I got to catch KFC before it closes, you know what I'm saying? Shit, what should I get? I'm gonna get 3 family buckets. I'm gonna get 4 zingers. I'm gonna get some drumsticks. Shit. With his payday, you know, he'll be able to feed himself for a week on KFC. Fat, disgusting pig. How do these people look? Carty looks in good shape, actually, for him at the win. Bread and circus Saturdays when the government push through laws and issues they don't want us knowing about. Great point. It's exactly that. It's like when something big happens, they'll sometimes report it. And they did this during the lockdown era, but they covered up with a big story. There's a famous email sent by a Labour minister going, right, today, after 9/11, today's a great day to release bad news because no one will look at it. And it got leaked. Yeah, that's what they do. Or they'll push some news story so it dominates the news pages. Yeah. And then, so they'll pretend they're reporting on some, you know, the serious news that really counts is hidden low, if it's written about at all, which often it isn't. I think prawn is the worst kind of bread and circus. Yeah. He's hijacked Palestinian TV and broadcast prawn to control Palestine. Oh, yeah. Prawn is the most destructive. Look at the size of that one. I mean, I'm expecting Carty to win by KO. I mean, how can you not KO a guy this fat in 8 rounds? You can't have the gas tank, right? I like Carty. He can punch. Obviously, how far he'll go. You know, Johnny Fisher level, maybe. Johnny Fisher is definitely fighting May the 17th, I believe, against the rematch against Dave Allen. There's been no mention of the undercard, but one of my fans said, you know who he should fight if he gets through Allen? Kenzie Morrison, Morrison's son, right? That would be a great fight because Morrison's got a name. He's good enough. But he's doing bare knuckle boxing now. He was going to fight Ibuchi. You know, Ike Ibuchi, the rapist. He'd just come out of prison after 20 years. And he's like 51. But that seems to be scrapped. He's now doing bare knuckle. My ex is Irish and he's full on Norman Bates prawn out. It destroys you. It messes with your head. It implants ideas in your brain that you would never usually have. That's why you get all these cucks like Otto Welling. They watch too much prawn. You know, I imagine, oh, I want to watch a huge buck smash my wife. Why would you want that, man? In the old days, if someone stares at your woman too long, yeah, or tries to chat her up in front of you, you're like, man, you want to stop that, I'll knock you out. These days, it's probably, hey, you know, why don't we go home and I'll sit in the cuck chair and watch the action while you cuckold me. It's disgusting. based Blues Brother. I don't know. The Blues Brother is not based at all. It's nonsense. I'm pretty sure Belushi was, you know, one of them. Suck classics. The good old days. What up, Paul? Yeah, what up to everyone? So let's commentate on the fight. This is the main fight I'm interested in. Also, Callum Walsh from Cork is going to be a very good prospect. There's a bunch of Irish guys. Obviously, it's Irish Bill, St. Patrick's Day, and I think it's MSG. This is, but you know, it's near enough Boston. There's loads of Irish Americans. Yeah, they love to support their own. So the fuck. So Thomas Carty, yeah, he's just waiting for openings, really. He's looking at this huge... He looks like melted chocolate mousse. De Juan looks like melted chocolate mousse. He's big. And he has scored 8 KOs and 10 wins. He's got war on his trunks. Talking about your look, Chumpy. Oh, thank you, bro. Yeah, sorry, bro. Yeah, it's meant to be an Irish look. Obviously, I've got the tricolour. I had it the wrong way around because... what I see is a mirror, right? So I thought I had it the right way around, but actually, inversion goes, you got it the wrong way around. You're like wearing the Ivory Coast flag. So I had to switch it around. But that's because I'm looking in a mirror. Because the green is you know, is meant to be on the right side, correct? Well, no. Is that the end of the round? That seemed a bit quick. Mousse, yeah, huge melted chocolate mousse. He's not even sitting down, because if he sits down, he'd probably think, I can't get up again. George Foreman was the first one I remember who always used to stand in the corner. He'd never sit down. You got the blues hat and sunglasses. Oh, okay, yeah, I get it, man. I used to like it when I was young, but now I realize it for what it is. Just anti-Christian, anti-hillbilly, anti-white nonsense. So Carty caught the chocolate mousse with... Carty's a southpaw, so he caught him a couple of times, but not much happened, you know. I understand Carty should take his time because the chocolate mousse is obviously going to gas, right? By the way, I'm saying I hope I make it through this whole show. It goes on till 2 a.m. 2 a.m. is the main event, or 1 a.m. or something, so, you know, I might fall asleep. I had to take a cold shower. You know, I took a cold shower to wake myself up because I was falling asleep. I just made myself roast beef in the air fryer. I made roast beef in air fryer, but I cut it and made some kebabs out of it. It was damn good. When you fight in booth, I don't even want to talk about that, bum. I don't talk about... We do not, on this channel, we do not support nonces, rapists, and police informers. So I'd knock him out and around. He's a bum. He can't punch. He quit against that guy I had on the show, Bolo. He quit against Bolo. Spat on him. He's skinny, degenerate. He's also a batty man. So yeah, I don't talk about him anymore. I'm not interested. Oh, De Juan landed a jab. The Moose landed a jab. Plop. Yeah. I mean, I like Carty. Judging by this, Johnny Fisher so far would beat him. We're at 1:30 of the second round. There's a bit of holding. I hate holding. If you watch videos from the early 80s, the 70s, all this kind of thing, they just didn't hold. It started to come into to become a trend in like the late 90s and all that. All the heavyweights used to start grabbing, and they allowed it. In the old days, the fighters were too proud. They would work their way, even if they're hurt, they'd sit there on the inside just trying to block the shots. What about the YB? I don't care about him. He's a bum. He works for the Vampire Squid. And I saw someone sent me a spar and he's awful. You get knocked out in a round. French is biased towards pagans. What do you mean, man? Some people on the basket weaving. Oh no! Down goes. Oh, that's a slip. I hope he hasn't hurt his leg. Oh, he's hurt his leg. Carty's hurt his leg. This is not good, man. Timeout. I didn't see what happened because I was chatting. Some people in the basketball form think Christianity is infiltrated by Israel. They become pagan. Oh, I see. Sorry. Yeah. No, he's back in, but it's never good. He's shaking it's his left leg. Yeah, but that's because down he goes again. Carty, his leg is done. I think he's going to get stopped because of his leg. He's looking at his corner. That's never good. 20 seconds left. 12, 11. The big chocolate mousse is going for him. Carty's leg is completely gone. They'll pull him out, man. This is disappointing. What channel is on? The UFC Fight Pass. I paid $6.99 for this just so I could... Oh, he's counting Carty. Carty's done. His leg is completely gone. His leg is gone. They're going to pull him out. No, what a disappointment, man. I can't believe I paid $6.99 for this. We need some super shekels, huh? To make up for me wasting $6.99 on this nonsense. That's right. You're right. Paganism, satanic, 100%. I mean, it's nonsense. Worshipping like demons. It's demon worship. Yeah, but this is UFC Fight Pass, but they do some boxing because Dana wants to get into it. Okay, let's have a look. How did he hurt his leg? He just twisted it. He fell on it. Twice he fell, and then the third time he was counted. They're going to pull him out. Come on, man. They're massaging his leg. They're going to pull him out. He seems to be crying in the corner. He's got a doctor in. That's it. Surely that's it. That's just pathetic, man. I keep stumbling upon these people they worship. I know it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's pathetic, man. So it looks like Day Juan has won on injury because Thomas Carty twisted his ankle. It reminds me when Joe Ward. Do you remember Joe Ward? One of the best Irish fighters there's ever been. He's crying, Carty. Well, obviously he's gutted. He's crying. Wow, that's a big upset. You can't account for these things. When Joe Ward, in his debut, he was battering the guy, and he twisted his right knee really badly, and I had to pull him out. He's one to mismanage my fighter. He should be a superstar in Ireland and Britain. You know, instead, Lou DiBella. By the way, Lou DiBella sounds like an Italian name, doesn't it? Well, go and look at his early life section. Go and look at his early life section. Just look at his face. You don't need to go to the early life section. Look at his face. So he's crying, Carty. Athletic moves. Well, he didn't really beat him. Carty beat himself. He's very upset. He's crying. Like I said, them injuries are bad, but Joe Ward's injury was terrible, Joseph Ward. And Joseph Ward is so talented. He should be... And they've hit him away on small bills. Small bills. I don't know why. You know? And he's been trained by Joey Gamache, Otto Wallin's trainer. He should be massive in Ireland. He should have signed with Hearn, to be honest. But DiBella said to him, "I will make you a huge star in America. You're an Irish American. We'll put you in Boston. We'll do this." And he's done nothing. Nothing with Joseph Ward. It's a disgrace. Oh, Bert. Thank you, Bert. £2. Thank you. So now, what did I pay? $6.99. So that's $5.99. But then they take away 30%, don't they? What's 30% of £2? That's so £1.40. So now £5.59 I paid. But thank you, Bert. Would you slam Ebony? No, mate. I would rather cut it off. I would rather cut the Corey off than see it disappear off that disgusting skank. Imagine the STDs. Imagine the size of the hole. It must be like the Grand Canyon, right? Or the Channel Tunnel. So it doesn't matter how big your Corey is. You could have one like a giant Italian salami. But if you encounter Ebony Biatches, it's like throwing that giant salami down the Channel Tunnel and it doesn't touch the sides. So the answer is, Bert, no, I would definitely not slam Ebony. Yeah, he's very upset, Carty. I understand, because this was like his coming out party. But it goes to show you. This is what happens in boxing. You can't take anything for granted. He wasn't looking that comfortable, to be honest, Carty. It'd be like throwing a sausage at an underpass. A huge sausage as well. It doesn't matter. It's just disappear. You might bang the side once or twice, but, you know, it's disgusting, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if the baby isn't even Kell Brooks. Right. So now we've got to go through a bunch of other fights. Right, let me have a look. So that's another KO on Daquan Callaway's record. He's up next to fight already. It's already booked. He's fighting the Big Gug. You know Big Gug? That huge Georgian puncher? Fook being a croc in that swamp. Yeah. It's Domingos. It's his kid. I don't think he could get wood for a woman. You know, Domingos. Anyway, Day One now goes back to his homeboys and yeah, shit. KFC's on me. You know what I'm saying? I want this, I want that, I want everything on the menu. I want 10 of everything on the menu. He's going to fill his gluttonous face, man. I mean, he knows he didn't really win that, but he didn't get hurt. It goes as a win on his record. Yeah, that's a real shame, man. Yeah, poor Carty, because this was big break in America. I was going to say on Prime TV. Well, it isn't. It's on UFC Fight Pass that I paid $6.99 for. That's what I do for the funds. But thank you, Bert. Obviously, Bert has given me some money towards that. As I said, if you can make it up to $6.99, well, it has to be over $6.99. What's $6.99 times 1.3? That's what we need. So almost a tenner I need to cover this rubbish UFC Fight Pass, because none of my streams was working. Well, yeah, I think I might take the 10. I might take the 10 seconds off if I can do it, because maybe it's blocking up the chat a bit. I usually do it so because you get people spamming, but all the people here seem to be, you know, decent. What's it called? Subscribers. James Sweeney, God bless you. God bless you. Your name's Sweeney. You must be Irish, of Irish origin. Are you in the beautiful Emerald Isle, brother? Great. I think you are. I think you're in the Emerald Isle, or maybe you moved to Australia. Or was that another dude? Why do they have boxing on UFC Fight Pass? I mean that's a reasonable question, and the answer is because Dana wants to go into boxing. He said that for years. He tried it, didn't he? It didn't work. But now he's having talks with Turkey, Allah Sheikh, His Excellency. So it may well happen. Okay, let me just see if I can change my settings. I'm going to try and change my settings so there's no pause on the chat. Yeah, it's a real shame for Callum, but I mean not for Callum, sorry, for Carty, but that's the way it goes. The same thing happened. Okay, I'm gonna change it. So I'm gonna take it off slow mode. Right? It's off slow mode now, so you can talk as much as you want. It doesn't look like we've got all those annoying haters. So fire away. Yeah, Johnny Fisher. Oh, Carter. Yeah, what a shame. He's lying down. He can't get out of the ring. It must be a serious injury, man. It must be a serious injury. The Irish, though, they always support their own, the Irish. That's what I like about them. You know, they're honourable to their own people. Although, having said that, Ireland is messed up because of the EU is giving a lot of money to Ireland. So all the leaders in Ireland, including, what's that guy? The fruitcake, the Taoiseach, the fruitcake, you know? He's half Indian and he's a Batman. So, you know, unfortunately, because of EU money, the governance in Ireland is very pro-diversity and things like that. Inversion, high inversion. Thoughts on boxing fight league that was planned by Turkey. Dana. We'll see how it happens. We'll see what happens. I mean, Dana White obviously is obsessed with having a UFC model, but it's very difficult in boxing. Boxing has different history, has different legislation, because effectively the UFC is the governing organization, so the equivalent of say WBC, and it's the promoter. And I don't think that's allowed in boxing, certainly not in the United States. So they would have to create something different. They would have to sign a bunch of fighters as promoters, all the best fighters in the world that they could, and then have their own championship, like the ring. The ring is owned by Turkey, so the ring could be the main championship. But the only way you can fight for it really is on a Turkey promotion. So it's possible, but it's going to involve billions. There's no big characters at the moment at the fight games, because they have to play the agenda and play the game. I mean, there are still some people who, I think Chris Eubank Jr. has, don't get me wrong, he ain't a true world-class fighter, but I like the way he speaks out. He's gained I wouldn't say I'm his fan because he's a fruit, but you know, oh no, I've got 33 people watching. I don't like that number. Let's get up to 34. Isn't the government trying to double island population with immigrants, including making the Irish people the minority? Of course. What do you think, bro? But that's the K plan. That's throughout Europe and the Western world. Probably be some tasty fights. Yeah, but it's going to be a hard one to make because you'll have, and everyone will be part of it. I mean, how much money does Saudi have? Does Turkey have? You know, and how, you know, he's going to have to buy all these contracts of all the big fighters. You know, do you think Eddie Hearn's going to want to let go of his fighters or Fish Eyes? No. So does he bring them in? He could bring them in. He could bring into this new organization, but he'd have to buy them. Dana's a plum. He will fail at boxing. I don't think Dana understands that the UFC game is regulated in a very different way to boxing. He doesn't understand that. People have been talking about this for years, even on forums. Oh, the UFC model would work in, but no, it wouldn't, because it's illegal. The Irish government are scum. Sold us all out. Oh, but are you an Irishman? Yes, brother. You're absolutely right. I got Irish fans. And they tell me this stuff. They have like Transformer Day at work, yeah, and stuff like that. And the police have got like rainbow cars. Yeah, 100%, man. Having only one champion will bring better fights, but that changes boxing to it. That's the issue. You need so much money. And, you know, let's not forget, there's a lot, the promoters have got a lot of power over the fighters. The organizations have got a lot of power, you know. But where there's money and there's a will, there's a way. And this is why it is not impossible, but it's going to be billions of dollars. You got to sign every decent, half decent fighter, and some of them are already signed to promoters. So you got to buy the contracts out, or you bring the other promoters on board. It's a nightmare. Logistically, it's a nightmare. Chris Eubank's the only current fighter that can sign people's microwaves. Yeah, I remember that. That was funny, man. I'm skeptical towards Turkey and the Saudis. Like they're many boxing for the sake of Saudi soft power. Yeah, and the reason they've chosen boxing is because it's not like football, where you have, or tennis, right, which is ruled by, you know, whatever, FIFA and the WTA or whatever it's called, and you know they have set schedules and set championships. It's not like boxing where you can just, you know, you can put up one fight. There's no date schedule in boxing. You just do what you want. So that, you know. So we've got Emmett Brennan vs Kevin Cronin, 2 Irishmen. Emmett Brennan's unbeaten, 5-0 with 1 KO, but he's 33. Kevin Cronin from County Kerry, Ireland, 9-2-1 with 5 KOs. I don't know anything about either. Don't get down, Bert, says Boxing Classics. The whole West Society is merged, selling us all out. Yeah, it's not only Ireland, unfortunately. But the Irish, the difference between, there's some countries that have some fight in them. Ireland had some fight in them. Italy has some fight in them. But the rest of the West is corrupt. Bunch of cucks. Sweden, Holland, Scandinavia, Germany. You know, there's places like Hungary that you know, and the Eastern Bloc countries try and push out, but Poland, but they will eventually infiltrate all these countries, right? Dana's boxing knowledge is atrocious. Yeah, he claims he used to box, didn't he? The Boxing Fight League is the equivalent of the Football Super League. Well, yeah, it'll fail. Yeah, it's very likely. So Saudis tried taking over football and it's failed. So now they're going up to boxing. I don't trust them. Yeah, but boxing's an easier one to buy. To buy football is a lot harder because you got so many more athletes. You got so many more federations. You know, you've got set schedules and dates. Big up Chuck being the fans. Big up to you, Foot Nose. What's up, bro? Enjoy. Yeah, this is my third. I'm trying to get my money's worth from the StreamYard, because they had a new CEO and he automatically put up the prices by 40%. It was the same thing with Teespring. You know, when I got my merch. Now I don't, you know, my merch I don't make much money out of. I made about 100 quid, but these are limited edition items, and they suddenly everything went up by 40%. I was like, this is crazy, man. You know, so I'm gonna sack StreamYard and get a new one. I think there's other ones like River Stream, and there's all kinds of other ones. I just got to learn to do it, which is annoying. They're winning football. Bring good players to their leagues. Boxing's lucky. There's better fights nowadays. As I said, they're totally different sports, so they will be managed differently. I mean, footballers, how many games do they play a year? I mean, isn't it 38 games just in the Premier League? And then you got the Champions League, you got the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, or whatever. Whereas in boxing, you know, these guys, singular people that only fight 2 or 3 times a year. What up, Footnose? Sonica, oh, you've got an admirer. Giorgio Meloni, Italian PM, has controlled opposition again. They give all these promises. Oh, yeah, we're going to close the gates. We're going to stop the small boats. Oh, we're going to Rishi Sunak, the billionaire, like private school alumni who couldn't afford Sky TV when he was young. What a bum. You know, oh, Rwanda, yeah, we're going to move people to... Yeah, nothing happened, man. It's just... Shh. Nice one, Sonica. Even, yeah. I like it when the funds get on. Can you stream on OBS? That's free. That's one of the ones I'm having a look at, bro. Obviously, I've got probably about 2 weeks left or a bit more on StreamYard, but I'm getting rid of it. It's a disgrace. 30. I mean, they already take 90% of ad revenue, YouTube, and they take 30% of my super chats, right? And then what? I've got to pay an extra 36 quid a month for StreamYard. It's just a joke, man. The Eastern Bloc countries are getting better at fighting back and being more traditional. They are doing better, but that's because their governments have not yet been totally infiltrated, and they will be. That, you know, they'll start these parades. Look at Ukraine. That'll be used as a flashpoint to push the lefty agenda. It's already happening, man. Depressingly, there's no. I met a real base guy in the gym. Now I'd known him for about a year. You know, but he worked for the NHS, so I was like, oh, come on, man. But then he came out and he admitted baseness, but I wasn't sure. He had a big nose as well, so I was a bit worried. But then he came out and he said everything. And I was like, damn, you are based. So, and even he said, he goes, there's just no real way to stop this. And I said, so what's the solution? You got to go to set up your own communities. I said, yeah, but they'll just get rolled over. He goes, yeah, but I'd rather die standing than live on my knees. I don't know. So Kevin Cronin seems to be getting the best of this. I'm not really going to watch this too closely. I don't know either fighters. Bon Scott, Bonnie lad from Scotland. I remember when YouTube was for the people. They Google, yeah. It used to be based YouTube. You could get anything, you know. And they started removing everything, you know, all the moon landing things. Yeah, they're all gone now. Or you have to enter the exact title. They're so hidden. You have to enter the exact title. And then they had, even they took down Eat the Popo, eh? But paso dati matin sempre. Let me tell you this for nothing. They will eat the popo like ice cream. That's been taken down. You know, and all the internet used to be for the people. I remember back in the day, it was run by the people. It was for the people because the big corporations hadn't seen the potential of the internet yet. And, you know, they hadn't infiltrated it yet. So it was run by the people, and you would have some mad things like bum fights and stuff like that. But they've even taken down, and I didn't spend a lot of time on these, the gore.com, Live Leak they've taken down. They had this, what they generally do, if they don't like the content, they'll either ban it or they'll buy the sites and then just close it down. That's how they control things. You know, let's say you started Live Leak and you're not really making much money because no one advertises on it. And then some guy with a huge paycheck says, look, I'll buy it off you. Oh, you'd be like, yeah, of course. And then they shut it down. Not seen that basic. Oh, you're watching it. Oh, what the bro? Since the 90s, the basin cut. Yeah. Which one do you mean? I mean, do you mean the guy, the blonde guy or the other guy? I think you mean the other guy, right? No, you mean the blonde guy because it looks like he's got a bait. Right. Okay. Sweden has a right-wing coalition with the Swedish Democrat Party, who's anti-immigration. There may be controlled opposition, but at least the Swedes are fighting back. Well, I've never met a single base Swede. They're the most pathetic cucks of all time. They had a virtually perfect country. No crime, no graping, loads of land, high taxes maybe. They looked after everyone. There's no crime rate. There's beautiful scenery. There's beautiful nature. And what do? They bent over like Ottawalin and watched the action and ruined their own country. The Eat the Poo-Poo videos are still there. They're just less than those videos. Yeah, last time I tried, I haven't looked at it for 8 years, but they just had loads of kind of Eat the Poo-Poo kind of piss takes. They didn't have the whole video. And maybe it is there, but it's hidden. But to watch the actual original whole video, which used to be and it still should be, the #1 search result, but it isn't. Big up Rufus, bum fights legend. Oh, I mean, there was something sick about bum fights, and they had Kimbo Slice fights, but at least it was real, man. This was real. It wasn't corporate nonsense and agenda. The green shorts, yeah, sorry, boxing, yeah, you're right, of course, they got the basin head. Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking. It doesn't look too bad though, to be honest with you. PewDiePie is close to being a base Swede. Well, he hit the nail on the head. Close to being a base Swede, but he's not really. Isn't he in Japan now? He's got a Japanese wife, something like that. Remember FPS Russia? I didn't. I watched many a Kimbo Slice fight on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, in them days it was, and you know, you'd use like torrent and LimeWire, and I had a dial-up. Sometimes I'd leave it on all night just to download something. The people who were running it then, but the people will always be infiltrated, you know, and they'll be bought and threatened. That's always the tactics. Offer them money and threaten them, and they'll bend over. The media went out to PewDiePie because he had more influence than them. Now most YouTubers are shills. Yeah, should be a shill. I'll tell you that for nothing. That's why I've only got 6,000 odd. It's about 6,200 subs. But if I looked at my data historically, I used to be a data analyst, and I should be on like 30,000 subs. You know, when I 6 weeks into the game, my average views was more than now. You know, it's just, but that's it. I'm not going to change because I'm not going to bend over. I'm not going to bend over for these people. I'm not Otto Wallin. PewDiePie has an Italian wife named Marcia. He's got an Italian wife. I thought he was in Japan with a Japanese wife. I'm wrong. I don't follow him, so I don't really know. Kinnell ain't heard of LimeWire since the time. Yeah, back in, you remember downloading LimeWire? I mean, people would do it even in companies. They would download whole albums on LimeWire and stuff like that, because in those days, and if you're friends with the IT guys, you do what you want, bro. But now, you get fired for it. But there's so many holes, even in these major companies. I used to work for one of the biggest companies in the world. And I had access to the entire database, the entire customer database. If I had any name, I could find out everything they've bought, where they live, their phone number. This is insane. Insane. When I searched like news results, as sort of news results in inverted commas from Associated Press and Reuters that are both owned by the Red Shield family, the biggest banking family, PewDiePie cut rather than end up like Lennon and Cobain. Yeah. That's how I see it, Scott. Yeah, that's how I see it. Demonaid, all those torrent sites. I didn't use Demonoid. I didn't use Demonoid, but there was uTorrent. There was other ones, but I remember LimeWire. I used to be friends with IT guys, and they just sit there laughing as they're downloading all this illegal software, all this nuts, man. Lennon Cobain also bought worse than PewDiePie. Yeah, but they may have been whacked, but they were 100% bought. Yeah, 100%. Oh, just look at the fights. Like I said, I'm not that interested. None of these guys look like they're going anywhere. It's just because, it's St. Patrick's Day, Ireland. It's it's a bread and butter brawl. There's nothing wrong with it, but I can't get interested in fighters if they're not going anywhere on world level, unless sometimes heavyweights, because they're Kangs. Aleister Crowley was in the Beatles cover album. Yep, and that's right. What's it called? Sergeant Pepper, and there's loads of other symbolism there. People don't realize how long it's been going. I found a picture. I put it up on my Insta. Go and have a look of Oscar Bonavena with his promoter or manager who wears a small hat, and he's doing that. So you can even see that. I don't even like doing it because people A, think that I'm compromised. B, it makes me feel sick to do that sign. But you see pictures of Tyson doing it at weigh-ins. You see Joe Frazier. You see Ali. This has been going on for ages. It's just that now, because of the internet, we know their signs and symbols, whereas then people just thought it was nothing. Oh, he's just saying okay. Yeah, sure. Do you remember when they tried to change it? Oh, no, what this is, it's a white power sign and all this nonsense. Kurt Cobain is a leftist who brags about having a hermaphrodite wife. Oh, those stop conservative fans stop listening to him. He'd be the biggest shill. He is a shill. There are rumors he got whacked. I'm not sure why. Probably a sacrifice by Courtney. What's her name? Courtney Love. She's evil. She's a witch. She's a genuine witch. She's admitted it. Most obvious, yeah. Paul McCartney doing the sign right. Some people say Paul McCartney died in a car crash, and it was actually reported in the Sun. It was the front page in the Sun, and then they pulled it, but some of them had come out, and he got replaced with another guy who was an impersonator. Or he did, he was a session musician who sometimes do shows pretending to be a Beatle, and apparently he's got a completely different face. Like the original Paul McCartney had a squarer face. And if you put them side by side, you're like, this ain't the same guy. I don't know, because I'm not that bothered about pop stars and stuff like that. I'm more interested in what they're doing financially, commercially, wars, pharmaceuticals, the future. I don't really, they use all these little biatches, these little celebrities as a little PR tools. But I'm not going to get obsessed by it. I'm more obsessed about what they're going to do to the world. Beatles use their influence, to make the youthful and new age spiritual, of course. Imagine there's no religion or whatever, no heaven above us and all that kind of stuff. All that, it was nonsense, man. These 60s bands and hippies contributed to the sexual revolution, absolutely. And the CIA admitted, they've actually admitted infiltrating record companies, Sony, I think, and Rolling Stone magazine to push that. They've admitted it. Don Smith, Illuminati, a cult of a depressing topic. It is hard, but there's nothing more valuable than the truth. And I would never go back. When you take the red pill, you're done anyway if you swallow it properly. but there ain't no. You can't go back, and I wouldn't want to anyway. I'd rather know the truth, even though it's miserable. Tupac like zesty. He then became a gangster. Yeah, super zesty. He was like, there's a couple of interviews with him, and he's really, he's a ballet. He did ballet. He was at theatre school. He was from quite a middle class family, and now he went on. And then he went all thug life. Tony Maloney, what's up, Tony? Is it true that you can play the piano with your Corey? The piece of shit, Zelensky. Yeah, he was an alleged comedian, very unfunny, and one of his skits was to play a piano with his Corey. But I can't. I can only go. I can't play the piano with my hands, let alone my Corey. I could just do ding, ding, ding. I haven't tried, but yeah, Zelensky, the billionaire, he's made so much money from Ukraine's, natural resources. He's almost a billionaire, I think. He's got a £35 million house in Miami, and allegedly, according to the normies, he's a hero. He's a hero. It's unbelievable. Celebrities, they're just wrong uns. Tupac was full on batty, yeah. Well, he's definitely. I mean, it's like go back to my cab driver from Cuba. You know, he don't believe in no, bi-curious, tri-curious, all this thing. You go, look, man, if you put your mouth on a Corey and you're a man, you're a batty man, and that's all there is to it. Should it be you can play the theme from Corey Nation Street on the piano with his Corey? Well, that would be a skill, but it's not one that I want to put much time into. So this fight carries on. Who else is on the bill? I'm going to have a look when this ends. Like I said, Callum Walsh is going to be a big prospect, but we'll see if I can make it. It's 11 p.m. Anyone want to give me a super shekel to make up for the $6.99 I wasted on this bill? Thank you, Bert. Bert gave me £2. Anybody want to? If I can get up to, as I said, £10 minus the 30% they steal from us all, then I would have paid for this nonsense. None of my streams worked. I've seen a guy make a burger with his Corey. Don't be gross, Sonia. I'm not 100% sure you are a woman, man. You said you're a woman, but some of the stuff you said is very, very, like, man kind of job. Back now, what did I miss? You missed Thomas Carty getting stopped by the KFC chocolate mousse eater. He because he fell on his ankle. He injured his ankle really badly, and they had to pull him out. That's all, man. Aside from Gage and Dubon, who do you say the most blatant PED users who've never popped? Vladimir Klitschko. Definitely. Tommy Morrison admitted it. Mike Weaver, Ken Norton. If you mean now, well, Dillian White's popped, isn't he? Chip, all of them. Johnny Fisher, definitely. I mean, the majority of them, unfortunately. Sonia, I can do the helicopter. Yeah, I know that trick. BBC's simping for a lass here. No, I'm not, man. Simping. I don't simp. Come on, Owen. How can you say that to me? Disrespect me on my own channel, bro. I blame my dad for having 3 girls. Wait, so you're saying you are a man, but you act like a girl? I don't know what you mean. Or you're saying you act like a man because you're a girl, but you know, you're one of 3 girls. You wanted to be the lad. What do they call it? Huh? What do they call it when you're a tomboy? A tomboy. Parker. Oh, yeah, Parker's definitely doing the PEDs. Well, I got really brutally attacked by Samoans, right? Obviously, they're very proud. They're quite a small nation. There's not that many Samoans, and they're very, proud, obviously, and they're very big, athletic men. But I got really attacked because I said, well, look at the evidence. I said, I'm a fan of Samoans. I'm a fan of Samoans. I'm a big J.L. Pataya fan. How much muscle does Parker put on? Over 20 pounds. There's an ISA group called Impact Say, which monitors the education system of Arab countries. They've edited the education systems. Right. Also, it's been proven that they fund Hamas. Hummus. They fund hummus. All right? Talking about the chickpea dip. They've found evidence of electronic transfers and checks to hummus. So it's part of the same game, man. It's part of the same game. 1 hour. 1 hour is usually when I drain the lizard. I'm gonna have this. I suddenly realized it's Lent, and I'm gonna try and knock everything on the head tomorrow. Malibu and pineapple. Saudi and UAE are bought by Israel. Go and look at the House of Saud. Go and look where they're from. They're from Iran or Iraq. I forget. I think it's Iraq. They're from a certain family. Go and look at them. And why is Saudi, the US, and Israel all allies? Because they're ruled by the same people, man. I recently watched Hagler v Leonard. I scored at 117, 111 Hagler. Really? I thought it was a robbery, except for Leonard to take the belts, become golden boy. I mean, it was, but I didn't score it round per round. But I have to say, I thought it could go either way. I thought Leonard won the early rounds. But Hagler, I give Hagler credit. He just stopped at 32 because I've had enough. Only at 32. Can you imagine that these days? But unfortunately, he left us. But Beterbiev is blatantly juiced to the eyeballs. Yeah, he's another big suspect. I was treated as a lad, basically, taken to football at the pub. And like, oh, right, okay. So you're like the tomboy of the family. Parker Sparks do bum. Certainly. I actually had put a bet on Parker to win. Just a straight win. I thought he might win on points because he's got better boxing skills. But the Parker I saw against Piccoli was very aggressive, very hard hitting, and fast. Should it be? Would you mount Sonica? No, I don't know. I no. Why? I don't know who's. I've never met Sonica. What it was a bizarre question. Parker got contaminated with loose Corey. Malibu smells like suntan lotion. Yeah, it does, but I like coconut smell. I like the coconut. Some people say I'm a coconut. YouTube censors red pill content but allows Elsa Gate content, right? And they will allow. Someone sent me some stuff, right? They allow virtually pornographic content. I mean stuff that if I put it on my channel, I'd be given a strike. I mean, women with their breasts out being massaged with oil. Weird, unbelievable. Willie Pep was on a different level for his time. Willie Pep was a super fighter. What's his real name? A prize for who can remember Willie Pep's real name. Well, the only prize you'll get is thanks. Hagler vs Mugabe was a fantastic fight. Both showed great chins and tons of heart. It was like John the Beast Mugabe. He won the light middleweight title, but world title, didn't he? He was a very violent guy. I think Hagler was on the PEDs as well. He had that. He suddenly got in the 80s all these really muscular black fighters, super muscular black fighters, just came out of the blue. If you look at older fighters in the 50s and like Jack Johnson in 1910s or Sugar Ray Robinson, all these other guys, they never had or Archie Moore, whoever you want, these huge muscle men. And they suddenly started to appear in the 80s. And I think it happened in a lot of sports. I do believe they were pushing the agenda via sports. So you get all these people worshipping their bucks, their muscular bucks. For the Leonard fight, I gave Leonard the third round and the last 2 rounds. I thought he got outworked in clinches, got backed up all night by Hagler. Like I said, I thought it could have gone either way. I thought Hagler found himself outboxed in the early rounds. There's a funny. Oh, are you serious? That's what I mean. Willie Peppard. No. It's not Willie Peppard. John Smith. I actually find the Illuminati topic interesting. It is fascinating. It can be depressing. Like sometimes when I red pill people, they're like, man, it's almost too much. But I'm like, they're not more valuable than the truth. Hagler is so handsome. He films after a time. I think you're controlled opposition, Sonia. Cyborg, Guglielmo Papaleo. Thank you. Yeah. A lot of these Italian American fighters had to change their names to make it easily more pronounceable. Like Rocky Marciano is not Rocky Marciano. He's Rocco Marchegiano. Rocco Marchegiano. But they changed it. They sort of Americanized it to Rocky Marciano. %. That's how they introduce kids. If you look at adverts and TV and, you know, kids got TVs in their room and what? They're not going to be awake at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. and watch all this sickness? Of course they are, man. How much power do you think the Illuminati have? They're not one singular group, if you like. It's a nice umbrella term to use, but there's no singular group. It's a bunch of very powerful groups that work together. Are they not able to get complete control by slipping with Trump winning? Nah, that's part of the plan, bro. That's just part of the plan. Because they want to pretend to see they've gone. I told you on the Basket Weaving forum there was a very good post. Someone said, "Listen, this is about a year and a half ago. What they're going to start doing." So this is after the UK war. They're going to start pushing. They're going to start pushing away from woke, and you'll see that in adverts for the army, especially. And they're going to start featuring. They're going to start to go more right and start appealing more to, you know, more conservative people. Why? Because it's the hillbillies, it's the white hillbillies that win America wars. You know, it ain't no the Mexican immigrants who, or the people, you know, the ghetto guys, or the rug munchers, or the women. They don't win them wars. It's the tough hillbillies, man. So because they're going to go to war in the next few years, they need to get them guys on side, because these guys won't join the army at the moment. As for Hearns and Leonard, 2. I thought it was 114, 112 Hearns. Yep. But without counting the knockdowns, it was a draw. Hearns were beginning, but crumbled in the middle rounds. Again, I will agree to disagree. I thought Hearns definitely won that second fight. Yeah, there we go. Maloney's in the house. Hello, Michael. You were missed yesterday. People wondering what you up to. Were you partying, bro? Yeah, like Henry Cooper was epic, but he didn't show muscle definition. Yeah, but I'm talking specifically in the 80s about black athletes. They, you know, Ali, Frazier, Jack Johnson, Sugar Ray Robinson, Archie Moore. All these guys were not muscle, and then suddenly all these real muscular guys showed up. Why? Because they stuck them on the PEDs. Can't spell it. Yeah, it was Guglielmo. Someone else put it earlier. Cyborg. Guglielmo Papaleo. Yeah, Willie Pep. Maloney's back after his conquest. Yes, Maloney. Yeah, big up to Maloney. Bless Mike, my fellow Paddy. What have you been up to, Maloney? What's been going on, brother? There's a lot of Paddies here. This is a St. Patrick's Day bill in the United States. It's a guy called Emmett Brennan and Kevin Cronin, both Irish. They're sort of slugging away. Thomas Carty, a heavyweight prospect, but only one of 2 pro heavyweights in Ireland, amazingly. But I don't know if you might have missed it, but he went over on his ankle. Yep, Michael, you were missed in the other streams, brother. Yeah, Michael's great value, man. I mean, I knew it, Michael. You didn't have to tell us, man. I missed all the boxing on the you on. Yeah, Michael likes to party, man. That's cool, man. No worries, man. You didn't miss much. I did a live on Nick the Wrecking Bull, but it was a poor fight. I predicted in about the 5th round or 6th round, I said Doheny will lose, will get stopped in round 10, and he'll probably get pulled out by his corner. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, you know, there's a bit of luck there, but I called it exactly. It was quite interesting. I'm trying to stay away from it at the moment. Other stuff, not the boxing. Yeah, I know about the others. Definitely stay away from the other stuff. I'm drinking a bit, but not much. No, Hearns beat Leonard the second fight. I agree, Michael. I definitely do. Owen thought Hagler won by 6 rounds against Leonard. I don't agree. I thought it was very, very close. Heavyweights are far lighter back then. Cooper was only 13 stone. Yeah, it's nuts, man. Cooper, Marciano, all them people. Joe Frazier was 205 pounds. Foreman was considered a beast at 218 pounds. And then Usyk's considered a midget at 220 pounds. You know what I'm saying? the guys you get now are just monsters, and it's partially because better genetics, like people are mixing with, they're not inbreeding so much. Supplements, PEDs, better nutrition, all these things. Maloney, you missed Charlie Edwards' fight of the year candidate. You should look it up, bro. Don't bother, Michael. I mean, it was on, and I barely commentated on it. It was so bad. Sonny Edwards on Instagram said that Charlie should have got the victory. He did nothing. He just ran with his hands up. Edward, who's the guy's fighting? Kane, Andrew Kane. He was disappointing as well, but I mean, he was trying to catch a ghost. Sonia Blade. John Fury said, beat the Irish bare knuckle champ, but can't remember his name. He's such a liar. 100 fights, 100 KOs. He didn't stop a single guy in his 16-fight career. Apparently, Charlie was shy. He was awful. He ran. Boxing Classics, you funny F. Yeah. Fight of the year. Big Dick, baby. What's up, man? Big Corey, baby. Big Joe Joyce said, no travelers have known of John Fury back in the day. That's right. John Fury claims to be from Galway. Now, all the traveler families, I mean, Ireland is quite large, but there's, 5 million people there? But all the traveler families, all the breeds, they know each other, you know? And Big Joe Joyce, you know, the bare knuckle Joe Joyce, he said, I've never heard of it. No one's ever heard of the Furies, you know? It's another scam, probably. The mother, however, is a Gorman, I understand. And they are definitely a traveling family. Bartley Gorman was a bit of a legend. He allegedly, I think he sparred Ali, apparently. But yeah, John Fury, no one's heard of the Fury family in Galway. None of them. John Fury can beat his balls off Paris. Come on, man. Oh, wait, bro. I just looked at your avatar. Here's your pal, look. Hey, there's no way you can make 6 million cookies with only 2. Shut up, man. He's going to get us in trouble. Ernie and Bert. Ernie's here. Hey, Bert. Hello, Bert. Did you know it's impossible to make 6 million? Shut up. Hopefully Fabio Wardley chins Pulev. I got nothing against Pulev, but he's gone. I mean, he will. He's very violent. Wardley, don't believe all that white collar stuff. It's nonsense. He didn't do white collar. He did unlicensed. And even if he did white collar, it doesn't matter. He's been splattering everyone as a pro heavyweight. You know, people love that. Oh, Jake Paul's just YouTube. Oh, Fabio Wardley's a white collar fighter. Oh, they're not really fighters. Oh, yeah, right. Go and step in against them, especially Wardley. You know, Wardley would have beaten. If Wardley had fought Tyson Fury the night that Tyson Fury boxed and Gubu, he would have beaten him. That'd be a whitewash. Pulev struggled with Chisora. He's like 43 now. Triple B, you heard that Bonnie Blue and her husband are allegedly still together. But true, the guy's the biggest cuck in history. He can't be a bigger cuck than Otto Wallin, shitting in the culture, watching the action. I don't know who Bonnie Blue is. Is she the slapper who slept with 1,000 guys? Yeah, I have no interest. My dad is from Turm Galway. Never heard of Fury, right? And the Big Joe Joyce is obviously a traveller. All the traveller families know each other. The breeds, they call them breeds, I think. Yeah, and it's like no one's ever heard of these Furies from Galway. Hagler struggled to hurt the tough Vito Antuofermo in their first match. You're right. Destroyed him in the rematch. I love Hagler, but he definitely started juicing in the 80s. Definitely. His body was just ridiculous. He had a few early losses too. Vito was a very tough guy. Matthew Hilton stopped him as well. That's early. Hey Bert, is it true that if you've got stop talking about cookies? Big up Heidi, only 2 of you've been buggering. No, you can't believe me. None of that stuff goes on the Triple B basement. John Fury, Don Charles, and Bill Haney are old men who think they're hard. At least with Big John Fisher, he knows what he is. Don Charles boxes an amateur. The only fight I can find from him is getting stopped in a round in the ABAs. Bill Haney is full. John Fury is full of shit. Yeah, he had 16 fights. He never stopped. How can he be a heavyweight and never stop anyone? channel is getting recommended, so you're not shadow banned. That doesn't mean I'm not shadow banned. It means I'm not as shadow. There are different levels of shadow banning. There are some videos that are so shadow banned, you cannot find them by searching. You have to enter the URL or the exact name of the video. There's one on the moon landings. What's it called now? And you can't find it unless you enter the exact title. So there's different levels, man. People think, I had some idiot come in here the other day, go, oh, you're obviously not shadow banned because you can accept super chats. Well, you obviously don't know what shadow ban means. You know, this guy Kelvinator. But yeah, bro, there are different levels. Believe me, there are different levels. Plenty of people say they never get my notifications, you know. When Wardley put Fraser's face on the other side of the head, it was graphic. Yeah, but that's heavyweight boxing. It felt a bit gross, but that's why we watch boxing, man, to see people get ironed out. John Fury is complete fantasist. It's scary how many people believe his blatant lies. I know, incredible. He's like that idiot kid at school. Oh yeah, and he's that guy who fought in the Kumite. He's like that guy. What's that guy called? Frank Dukes, the fantasist who fought in the Kumite and killed like 2 people and has had the fastest knockout and all this nonsense. I'm 41, I might start juicing. Well, there's different kinds of juicing. People don't, you know, there's all kinds of different things. Like, you know, what Gage does, and a lot of these big fighters do, is get TUEs and pump testosterone inside themselves, but make sure they're below. Because, like I said, in boxing and other sports, you can have 4 times the level of testosterone than an average man, and you'll still pass the test because they've got to account for outliers. And if you've got a TUE, then you've got an excuse. Oh, how could Gage pretend he's got low test? But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different juicing. I mean, I'm not an expert on it, and I wouldn't recommend anything. But look into. I mean, a lot of people in America, it's legal. They will get testosterone. They'll go to their doctor. They will get a prescription from the private doctor to give them testosterone, and they can come in a gel, or they can come in a pills, or it can come in an injection. Maybe ask the Partridge Family, and we ain't talking Alan. Yeah, apparently, I don't know if I believe this. Apparently, Fury's real name, the family name is Partridge, and Tyson Fury's real name is Luke Partridge. I don't know, man. I mean, loads of boxers change their names anyway. I haven't got a problem with that. Like I said, Arnold Raymond Cream was Jersey Joe Walker. Walker Smith Jr. was Ray Robinson. Obviously, Ali changed his name to Cassius Clay. Willie Pep's name wasn't Willie Pep. You know, so on and so forth. And also, Henry Cooper's brother is Jim or George Cooper. I can't remember. But there was already a Jim or George Cooper who was pro, and he couldn't have the same name in the British Boxing Board as another pro. So he changed his name from George to Jim, or vice versa. I can't remember. So there you go. Minter was quite underrated as well. Skilled, but cut like Cooper. Oh, terrible cut. And all that, they love that old story. Oh, Hagler absolutely hammered him because of his racism. And actually, you watch that fight, he gets stopped on a cut, and yeah, obviously it hurts Minter, but Minter's actually doing pretty well, you know. I'm off, champ. The best boxing channel, and there. Thank you, Michael. Sleep well, man. You sound like you've had a big weekend, bro. Yeah, again, it's funny he's labeled Oasis. Well, Oasis is a false nonsense name anyway. That's used by. It was originated in Franco-Marxist schools to push mass immigration, but yeah, Hopkins and Taylor on, and any of these guys, you know, it's only white guys who can be racist. Otto Wallin admits that as well. I know there were different levels. That's interesting. Oh, I didn't know there were different levels. Yeah, bro, it's super complex. What's the name of the moon landing video? I'm trying to remember, man. It's something to do. The greatest lie, Americans, something I cannot remember, bro. But it's like 1.5 hours or 2 hours documentary on what nonsense it is. Frank Dukes, yeah. Big John Fury is the Frank Dukes of boxing, bro. No doubt. 100 fights, 100 KOs, knocked out the bare knuckle champion of Ireland. I think I've seen Frank Dukes do some martial arts. He's actually got some skills. He's full of lies, but he probably beat up John Fury. I didn't get the live notification tonight yet, and I bloody put it on. There you go. And I saw the thumbnail half an hour. That's what I mean, Nevergoon. And I've been unsubscribed to channels that I've subscribed to that were quite based, just taken off. Other people have said the same thing about this channel. Oh, blimey. Emmett Brennan and Kevin Cronin is going the distance. Big Corey, baby. I refuse to say it. The likes of Paddy Ward, the young Hulk Joyce, David Joyce would have smashed John Fury and Ben. Oh, I mean, they would have destroyed him. That guy that he pulled his eye out was battering him. And that's why he pulled his eye out. He wasn't even a real fight, a proper fighter. Look at Gage in the first Dillian White amateur fight. What you mean? He's not muscular. Yeah, I mean, sorry about it. Eubank is actually Eubanks. Well, I'm glad you've been watching my videos. I made that clear. Peter and Simon Eubanks were his brothers. They were journeymen. One of them beat Barry McGuigan by half a point. And he changed his name from Eubanks to Eubank suddenly. And now Harlem Eubank, who's a nephew, also changed his name to Eubank. I don't know why, but they did it. But yeah, you're right. Canelo is fighting some tall fighter. Canelo? Who's Canelo fighting? Wally went back for the dad. What do you mean, bro? How many barrows do you think Stephen Bunce? I just laugh at it. I haven't even read the whole thing. Would be able to fit in Sam Stroller's patio. There's huge. You used to get them in the 90s and 80s and that, whatever. You get these huge barrows that are about this thick, like a cucumber, because you could choose like all these different colors. He could probably fit 100 of those up Sam Stroller's patio. Effed you around. He punched my boy Buchanan in the nuts. Yeah. He was very dirty, Duran. I respect him because for a number of reasons. He's also quite funny, but he hit weirdly. He hit Buchanan badly low. Buchanan can continue, and they gave it to Duran. But that just shows you how corrupt boxing is, because they knew Buchanan's worth not any money to the promoters, whereas Duran was. And then Duran refused to rematch Buchanan. However, he does give Buchanan a lot of credit, Duran. He says, yeah, he was probably one of my hardest fights. He was very awkward. Thanks for streaming 3 days in a row. I missed the stream. Yeah, thanks, bro. I'm just trying to get some value for money out of the £36 I'm paying for StreamYard. And I'm still begging. I've only got £2 super shekels so far. I've got to get to at least £10 to pay for the UFC fight pass that I'm commenting on. Yeah, the Carty fight was disappointing. Somebody would beat up John Fury. He's rubbish. He was talking about coming back, and I saw him hitting the pads, and he was so slow and so bad. The stream's nice. Thank you, bro. Big debate. Cronin's a tough lad. He's a firefighting Kerry. He was robbed in the first Brennan fight. Oh, this is a rematch. Okay, let's have a look. Who's got the win? I have to be honest, I didn't watch it that carefully. So it looks like one card's gone for Cronin. It's not going to be a draw or split decision. Come on, listen. I'm sick of these stupid. There used to be a lot more unanimous decisions. You notice it. Oh, it's gone to Brennan, right? Again? Okay, well. I didn't watch the fight, so I can't really tell you what happened. But Owen Foster, I love your video of Fury when he retired, and he called his children ugly. Not all his children; it's just the males. His girls seem like pretty young things, but his kids look really inbred, man. Yeah, you got to be careful talking about people's family, but they maybe they'll grow into their looks. Hopefully, they grow into their looks. Tyson Fury, weirdly, when he was 19. He was signed by a Manchester model agency. He was actually quite a good-looking guy. It's just he lost his hair and got fat. But you should be getting a lot more views. Yeah, I looked at the data. You're a very honest channel. I like the fanboy channels I never speak to. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. But it's not going to happen because of that. Uphill Byro. I put shekels on your buy coffee. Oh, thanks, mate. I usually would have my my phone. I'd have a look. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much for buying me a coffee. Yeah, if you don't want to give up 30%, I mean, they're thieves, YT. You can Bitcoin, Litecoin, buy me a coffee. It's in the description. Thank you, John. That's very kind. You've given before. And like I said, I'm very grateful. And we are a channel that is supported by the community because of shadow banning, the ad rev, which they take 90% of anyway, is poor. I do this because I enjoy it and for the funds and because I want to spread truth, you know, because it's not for the money. But thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. Boxing Classic, you need to subscribe to one of the main boxing channels. They are all the same. IFL, Boxing News, Second, same content, basically. Yeah, and nothing original, nothing interesting. They're like clones. Sonia Blade agrees. Sonia Blade wins. I got to train the lizard. So we'll see what's next. Fergal McCrory vs Keenan Calabahal. Calabahal has got an Irish first name, Keenan, but he's obviously not Irish. Fergal McCrory. Okay, but Irish fans, what do you think about Fergal McCrory? Is he any good? Oh! Oh, fuck. Oh! I just put out my back. It's like Thomas Carty. Blood clot. Blood clot. Oh man, I worked so hard at the gym. I was a bit stiff, but it suddenly seemed to go like an old man, you know? Like, you know when old men hold their backs, you go, oh, me back. That's what just happened, bro. Blood clot, that really hurts. Luckily, I've got some painkillers, some serious ones. Blood clot. I feel like poor Thomas Carty. I might start crying. Yeah, poor Thomas Carty was very upset losing. He started crying. Yeah, what do people know about Fergal McCrory? How good is he? Big Corey energy. You tell me, man. You know your Irish fighters. Oh, me back. Blood clot. Oh, me back. Oh, fucking hell. Oh, you gotta laugh. Yeah, oh man, that really hurt. The Fury's all age like milk. Huey looks like in his mid-50s. I mean, yeah, he's only 29 or 30. And I looked at a picture of me and I was like, blood clot. I really hurt my back just by stepping out of my seat, bro. I've got to get some painkillers. The classic normie channel's BLTV. He's always getting dates for fights wrong, facts wrong, praising Leonard for giving Hagler the rematch when he retired. Oh, some of them are so bad. They get all kinds of things wrong. There's total normie channels. And they put on these clickbait titles and these clickbait thumbnails, and they know nothing about boxing. Chubby knows about boxing, that's for sure. Who better to talk about supporting the Chubby channel than our very own Shane Bongos? Big up, Shane Bongos. Yeah, I don't think Shane's in tonight. Let's try. Shane Bongos. Shane Bongos. Shane Bongos. We'll see if he appears. That's the problem, though. People always rely on Shane to give to support the channel. Southpaw 733 is a loony boxing channel. Yeah, I don't really watch it a lot. Make it rain, Shane. No, I'm not going to beg off Shane. Shane Bongos has been so generous, man. Huey has just turned 30. Yeah, he looks like he sells coke on the street. He looks like he gets out of bed at 12:30 p.m. having drunk all night, smoked 60 cigarettes, been on the sniff, and he goes out to sell sniff so that he can make enough money to buy a sniff for himself. I mean, he looks ancient. And like Fury, like I said, Tyson Fury looked good when he was young. And then by the time he was 21, he looked about 40. Sporting Silicons guy is still on. What a pathetic. I don't know, bro, actually. To be honest, I don't know. I think YouTube lets inappropriate content go through so people will call them out. And YouTube would overcome and say, oh, yeah, so they got an excuse to censor. Oh, yeah, we realize there's they often do that, right? or any kind of people, they'll let something happen on purpose so that they can cause a reaction, and then therefore they can stamp down on it and say, this is why we're now having to ban all these videos, or we're going to have to ask for people's ID before they watch, and which is just to push another way to push getting people's ID. Sporting Shitacons, I think Sutherland, he was a match from Michelle. Yeah, he's another one of them guys that had 6,000 subs and suddenly got to 50,000 in a month. BLTV thumbnails, so stupid. I don't know who they are. Heading off anyway. Salute. Great. Oh, take care, bro. In United States, am I wrong? But anyway, take care, man. It's 11:25 in the UK. The back for the dad thing was from the Bent Legs Cooling interview. Apparently his son and his dad went after Woodley. After Woody KO'd the son, he went back for the dad. I never knew that. I mean, I must have missed that, man. What was it, a pro fight? Did he knock out a pro fighter, or you mean like in the unlicensed game? Woodley, I like fighters like Woodley because he's violent. He goes for the KO. He's not interested in messing around. Good night, Owen. Yeah, good night, Owen. Rain Man is a demon who showers those who worship him with money. Many music celebrities references him in terms like making it rain. Yeah, you're right. There are always subtexts, subcontext to these things that go on. I think Huey's got some style though. He used to go to the boxing, always well dressed, no homo. It's true actually. Huey used to dress well. He's one of those weird guys that sometimes would look retarded, and other is facially and in some pictures he'd look kind of cool. He does dress well, Huey, and I like the way he stays out of the. Oh, me back. I like the way he stays out of the press. He just never. He would have probably done better if he'd launched more PR stories. But he just wants to be in the caravan, eating his stew, laying on top of his woman for 5 minutes, and rolling off, falling asleep, getting up in the morning and grafting, coming back to a nice stew, take a huge dump in the woods. He wants to live a simple life, but he does dress well. Order out of chaos. Yeah. That is one of the plans. You make everything into chaos. You make everything fall to pieces. And you even get the people to revolt. And then once the system is smashed, you then have to rebuild it. And that's where they really take over, because they pretend they're your friends. Oh, we got rid of the evil peoples. And that's actually predicted in the Bible as well. In the Bible, it says that the Antichrist, the final Antichrist, will end up being loved by everyone and will perform all kinds of signs and symbols, and everyone will suddenly think this guy is here to save and he's the devil. He was just going into his man's. Yeah. Actually, the last two fights, he was very aggressive. He went from shades of Ali to shades of Marciano. Cougar needs to jack in with IFL. Get back to his peoples in Sri Lanka. I never released it. I didn't finish it. I was doing a video about him drilling holes in walls and watching like middle class girls who've gone Sri Lanka to find themselves. Yeah, and he just sits there whacking off. And then every day, I actually did a video on it, but I was going to do it like a skit. And and his father always has to pay off the local police because he keeps on getting busted, like whacking off and drilling holes in the toilet walls and watching middle-class girls take dumps. Yeah, that would be his life if he hadn't come to the UK. Trust me. There would be no IFL. He'd be just filming girls. So, Fergal McCrory ran one against Keenan Carvajal, the Macon with the Irish first name. Who could Usyk fight next? Dubon, Parker, Caballero? Again, I go back to what I said every time. I would want him to retire. The reason he's not retiring, he's 38 now, right, is because he's too important for PR reasons for Ukraine. So they'll carry on pushing him. You notice, like, when Zelensky went to the White House, he took Usyk's belt with him. He's too valuable for PR He'll be forced to carry on fighting. Who should he fight next? I mean, as I said, I think he should retire. Out of that lot, I don't see why he should fight Dubum again. You know, he waxed him. Parker, interesting. Caballeros, I thought is a very decent fighter. But I just wanted to retire. I really would want Usyk to retire. You know, he's just been used. He's been used for PR reasons. Who would you want to fight? What is the chat? What are the people in the chat? Who would you want to see Usyk fight? Do you know, I'd really like to see him fight something really left field. I mean, a lot of the big fighters have lost recently, haven't they? But something really left field, like Richard Torres or something like that. You know, just something like a random guy, like who doesn't seem ready to fight for the title. Fight Usyk. Someone like Richard Torres. He's fighting Guido Vianello, the Corey King, the king of Corys. He's got a body like a great god. He's got a lovely tan, and he's got a large Corey on him. That Guido Vianello. So the winner of that against Usyk is a good fight, and it's actually a reasonable fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The winner of the Corey King, he's Richard Torres Jr. Parker deserves Usyk. Yes and no, because he's only been out with Bacoli, who hadn't trained for 9 months. He hadn't even sparred, let alone trained for 9 months. So off the back of that, come on, man. I'd say no. He's got some good results. Who else did Parker beat? He beat Jole Zhang, but he got downed a couple of times. Zhang's been kind of found out by Caballel. Without further ado, yeah, it's sad because Usyk seems like a good Christian man who can actually look up to and aspire to be a true role model. Yeah, but unfortunately, you know, he will be forced to do things because otherwise he risks his family. You know, he risks everything. I mean, technically, he's of fighting age. He could be fighting in the front line, you know. Liam and Chains, big up, Chilby. Finally catching a live from Australia. Yeah, what up, brother? What do you think? Number one question to ask someone who you've met to determine if they're NPC or not. Well, the JQ. That's pretty easy, man. The jibber jabber, the JQ. Especially the jibber jabber. The jibber jabber has been the easiest one. I'll tell you that someone, I'm sure I was going to do a video on it. I don't know if I can bother. He got in a large discussion. Hey, I saw Otto's alias guy. Hey, of course Caballel's German. He speaks German. He was born in Germany, and Kurdistan's not a country, so you can't say he's Kurdish. He's 100% German. I was laughing at him. And I said, how many jibber jabbers do you have? He goes, of course, I had them all. I'm not scared of taking a pinprick in me. Huh? And I was like, man. And I said, well, good luck, mate. He goes, I said, go look at the data rather than just speaking nonsense. And that comment got zapped. Usyk probably secretly hates Zelensky. But yeah, he's an Orthodox Christian. There's no doubt he does, but he's in between a rock and a hard place. He cannot really get out of it. Anybody want to give me a super shackle or buy me a beer? Hopefully I paid for this waste of money, UFC Fight Pass. I basically just wanted to see Thomas Carty because I thought it's a heavyweight fight, it'll be entertaining, but he sprained his ankle. And then the main event will probably be on at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. I don't know if I'll be awake by then, man. You know, I haven't really eaten much today. I made myself a kebab. I cooked a beef joint in the air fryer. It's quite good. I made myself a kebab out of that. That's what they're going to do with these Saturday nights now that Strictly got this. Yeah, I know. I've told this story like that. For those that haven't heard the story, I was in the pub and I'm sitting there and this woman, and she goes, oh, I just don't know what I'm going to do with me Saturday nights now. Strictly Come Dancing's finished. I was like, I didn't even make a comment. I looked at this woman. I was just like, and I bit my lip, but I couldn't help laughing. And I just thought, that is so tragic, man. Some weird shit happening with your channel. Your vids are either freezing or it's telling me tabs have crashed and takes me off your channel. That's what I mean. There was one time when I had a live and it kept on cutting out as soon as I spoke about certain things. Would you have 4 jibber jabbers for 1 bill? Surely it's a yes. What do you mean 1 bill? You mean like £1 and 4? Shut up, man. Don't be stupid, man. Oh, 1 billy? No, man. You can't buy me. You cannot buy me. You cannot buy me. Usyk is a Cossack, different from Ukrainians. Aren't they ethnically closer to Russians? Well, Russia's a huge country, so people talk about Russians. It's so massive. It's the biggest country in the world. You know, it's ginormous. It goes from the far end of Asia all the way to like, you know, it all touches Alaska almost, all the way to Europe. You know, there's no such thing as a typical Russian. But I mean, ethnically there may be, but the actual state of Russia should probably be like. You remember when it had USSR? I mean, that had Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Latvia, Belarus, Lithuania. They got their independence, but there's probably another like 10 or 20 nations that should have their own independent country. I had fish, chips, and sweet corn. Oh, for dinner? Oh, well done. Did you make it yourself, or you go to the chippy? Yeah, I made my own kebabs. Real good. Shish kebab. Never done a shish. And I made some prawns. I got some really big prawns from Iceland, so they're frozen, but I defrosted them and I put peri on them, and I made it. Well done, Sonia. Do you have a? Did you actually batter the fish and chips yourself? Because you need a proper deep fryer, right, to make it properly. I mean, fish and chips are so overrated anyway. I like the fish and with good batter. It's okay, but I don't ever crave it. And the chips is just mush, man. When they live in chains, what's up, my brother? When they start talking about football and what they watch on telly, makes me withdraw from them quick shot. Oh, mate, I was in the gym and I'd been working out, and there's this guy about 60 years old wearing a football t-shirt with Bellingham written on the back. I mean, that's like saying you're a cuck. I've got a 25-year-old or whatever's name on the back of my shirt. Another man's name. A millionaire, you know, clergy plan name on my back. And other guys watching the rugby, they go, oh, they should have done this. If they'd passed the ball earlier, they would have got the try. And then when they score, they go nuts and they hug their friends. I'm like, you weren't even that excited when you got married or when your children were born. You're getting excited because some man has put a ball over a line. I bred in my fish. Well done, Sonia. Big deal. I look forward to Callum Walsh. Very exciting fight. Yeah, he's from Cork, the beautiful County Cork, from the beautiful land of Ireland. Yeah, he's a great prospect. I can't look now because I'm watching the action. But what's his record? It's 12-0. But how many KOs? I'm not Northern. This is not a problem, man. I like Northerners, man. No man should wear another man's. I mean, imagine that. What a cuck. An age 60 wearing Bellingham on the back of his shirt. That is like, you're basically a cuckold. You'd probably let him go out with his daughter and be real proud of it. Oh, guess what? My beautiful blonde, blue-eyed daughter, Sophie's going out with Jude Bellingham, whatever his name is. Football fans wearing shirts, yeah, they're the biggest morons. Eyes so closed. Fully grown men crying about a team of young men kicking the ball around a bit. Oh, down goes the Irish Mexican. Oh, no, it looked like a push. Yeah. And I mean, people say, well, Chubby, you're watching UFC and boxing, that's bread and circus. Yeah, it is, but I understand that. But I'm also using it to red pill people. And it's actually a martial art. It's a fighting sport. Kicking a football has no use outside of football pitch. Knowing how to fight has got a use outside of football pitch. It can also land you in prison if you knock out too many people. That's the problem. But Tony, Chuck B, you need to put that video back of you trolling Coogan to his face. Is it not up? Oh, yeah, I went to a fight. What did I say to him? I can't remember what I said to him. I was rinsing him out about posse and views, and he knew my voice. You could see he's side-eyed. He was not happy. I didn't realize that wasn't up anymore. I'll have a look, man. I'll definitely put it up. I can't follow football now. They're all young and me. I know, it's tragic, isn't it? And I'll sit there and go, oh, what we should have done. We should have played the 3-4-2 formation or something. And they'll spend hours talking about this in the pub instead of talking about how their children are being poisoned, both philosophically and physically. No, they don't care about that. As long as Jude Bellingham scores a goal. Zelensky wears Duke. What up, Duke? I like the Chad avatar. Zelensky wears a small hat. Chanel PM wears a small hat. Expensive Rezanov wears. Yeah, I mean, you're preaching to the choir, blood. I respect but disagree with your point of views. I have an emotional interest in Arsenal. I think it's personal preference. Not everything has to be zesty. Bro, you have to recognize that you're being made to care about something you should not care about. And, I will respectfully disagree with your point of view, like you respectfully disagree with mine. But it's okay, by the way. You know, like, you know what? I'll relax a bit, watch a bit of football. Oh, it's, but not, I mean, in a world where, which is reasonable, right? In a world where people weren't being poisoned by the medical industry, where their kids weren't being poisoned at school. Those are the things people should care about. I'm sorry, bro. I can't. There are people who've grown up around football and their family loves it, but I'm sorry, man. You got to drop it. I dropped it. Yeah. It's just a coincidence, bro. It's just a coincidence. ST, what if you win everything? The league, the Champions League, FA Cup, then what? Reset and start all again, rinse and repeat. Yeah, they're just, look, man, I'm sorry, bro. ST, I got respect for you. You've been on channel for ages, but I cannot respect. You can have a minor interest in it. Yeah, you can like, oh, that's quite interesting. I'm a bit, I'll take myself away from the real world. But you got to recognize the real things. You can't be one of them people that jumps up and down, wears another man's name on their shoulders, and hugs other men just because their team put a ball in the back of a net. Sorry, bro. Just read the results in 10 years. Just read the results in 10 years. Saves them. Oh, down goes Fergal McCrory. He's been counted. The Irish Mexican put him over. Okay, let's have a watch of this fight. It's not going well for the Irish guys. They won the second fight, but that's because there's two Irishmen. Carty broke his ankle. McCrory's now been hurt by the Mexican Irishman. I wonder if Canelo's got Irish blood in him. There were quite a lot of Irish that fought for Mexico against America, and a lot of them stayed there. So football's like what Frankie Boyle said it when he held up his car keys and said, "Look at this shiny." I don't understand that analogy, but yeah, it's sort of distraction. What's the gonna issue? Then Arsenal go again the next year. It's entertaining, nothing overly serious. But that's the problem, ST. People do take it too seriously, and with all respect to you, it sounds like you invest too much of your own time and money into this. It's like I'm sorry. Oh, that's a beautiful shot by Keenan Carvajal. A counter right, bang on the chen, as Jim Watt would say. That was a decent shot. He took it well. He went over the Irishman, but he took it well. But yes, bro, it's almost like you're excusing. Look, we don't have to row about this. You're a long-term fun, but to justify watching football, it's not going to work for me. Check out the German immigration statistics. 18 million third world immigrants. Whoa. Since 2015. Now, EU and Germans want World War II with white Christian Russia. Yeah, 100%. There are no good Germans left. The number 1 and 2 were deliberately just to destroy the German Empire. I especially disagree with the opinion, bro. Yeah, that's fine. But one thing we can agree on is that AJ never failed a test. Of course he's not doing PEDs. He's never failed a test. Where's my? I can't bend over too much now because I hurt my back. I just wanted to find my Otto cuck stick. Can't see it, man. All I can find is the fruity Ben Whittaker. Look at him holding his Corey. So, is anyone watching the fight? Probably not, because no one wants UFC Fight Pass. I mean, only I'm mug enough to buy that. Football's okay to relax you, but the ones who make their personality and start arguing over what formation they play or what's a bigger club and who is a better way sport or cook. I mean, yeah, it's tragic. I sometimes rinse out a couple of friends going, look at your team, they're whack. And they get all upset. No, we're not. No, we're winning the league. We don't care about the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. We win that. We've won more leagues than anyone else. So I'm like that. And I just say, you know, the fact that I said bread and circuses is the most batty man thing in the world, but enjoy it. It's full of woke nonsense now, which is hard to watch. Yeah, diving over slight nudge, the rainbow microphones, the DI presenters, the kneeing. Oh, yeah, but you should watch women's football because the women are better than the men sometimes. I agree with this Boxing Classics HQ. Yeah, you can have a little interest. I don't have a problem. If I've got a bet on something, I might be like, I'll watch it out of the corner of my eye, but I'm not. That's it, bro. It's the first time I've seen the Quizzican puppet. Look, his eyes too close together, and he's holding his Corey. Look at this bum. He can't see the jabs. Sorry, he can't see the hooks coming. You can see the jabs and the front and the backhands, but he cannot see the hooks coming because his eyes too close together. True Boxing Classic. Football fans are super woke. Rainbow watching BLM. COVID crap was pushed through the Premier League. Yeah, terribly. I went to see a Nottingham game when I went to watch a fight in Nottingham with my pal. I just thought it'd be interesting out of, you know, like being David Attenborough, watching the animals and how excited they got. And some of it was quite funny when they rinsed out, who was it? Paul Ince's team were playing Reading. And they were rinsing him and his son. And yeah, it's quite fun, but I've never seen so much fire and passion over something as pathetic, man. Almost all top sports people at PEDs, even snooker, darts, archers, shooters, use beta blockers. I was about to say that. Beta blockers and benders, yeah, to steady the hands, relax. There was a big, look at the Irish fans loving it. There was a big issue in the 80s about beta blockers, yeah, because they just cool you and keep you cool. Yeah, I think Quizzican Puppet is new. No, it's an old one. I just hadn't used it much. I think I used it only once. Anyway, I punched it out. It's gone somewhere else now. His eyes are too close together. I saw loads of football fans being outraged today because the opposition manager of the other team said something disrespectful about their football club. Oh, it's tragic, isn't it? And I hate it when you get football fans that talk about themselves as a collective. What we should have done, we should have pushed harder, then we would have won that match. We definitely deserve to. Oh, grow up, man. Imagine getting excited about a man in shorts putting a football in the back of a net. Just step away from it for a minute. You're like, damn, this is crazy, man. Let alone that being your whole identity. Let alone being a grown man and having another man's name on the back of his shirt. Bon Scott, what up, my Scottish friend? The Irish fought long-time Mexican, U.S. Army in the Mexican-American War. Yeah, probably Canelo's Irish heritage. You didn't get that ahead with the Aztecs or the Spaniards. Yeah. Yeah. James Batten. God, these slobs on the thumbnail. I'm glad I didn't watch them fight over the last dollar. Yeah, there was Thomas Carty, who's an Irish prospect, but he's only one of 2 Irish heavyweights, unbelievably, that are pro. He's quite a fun guy, actually. He can be quite based, but he's fighting Dajuan Callaway, who's 409 pounds. And he won Callaway because Thomas Carty turned his ankle over. So you didn't miss anything, bro. In fact, this whole bill's been... I don't know, maybe this fight's good. I just haven't been watching it, to be honest. Football fans have so much to say about so little. They can name every stadium and every player, yeah. But they go, yeah, they're playing Liverpool at home. Oh, it's not home. It's Anfield or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. Is it called Anfield? And they all, Oh, you're a blue nose. You're your players are rubbish. Ha ha ha. We got way more Premiership champions. Oh, come on, man. How tragic are you? Can name every stadium, every player, but know absolutely nothing about the way the system works. Yeah, it's tragic. And they'll just look with a blank look in their face. Oh, for the days when Bill Werbenick. Who's the Bill Werbenick? I don't. There might be some irony there. I don't know. We should have drafted more in Gubu. We should have definitely bought that in Gubu. Ngubu's better than your Ngubu. Ngubu's better than your Ngubu. Triple B's Ngubu's better than your Ngubu. Triple B's Ngubu's better than your Ngubu. Over the days of Werbeniuk, he used to sink 27 pints for a game of snooker. Yeah, do you know what? I told you, I said it before in the live, I watched the darts. I had some bets on, some boosted odds, and I won. And I was like, so I was watching out of the corner of my eye, but I was like, this is actually kind of fun. They're having a good time. It's extremely skillful. But the old snooker and darts, they used to smoke cigarettes and drink. They don't do that no more. There's one guy, I don't know his name. He's from Wales. Gerwin Price, I think he was playing. He's real muscular, man. I think he was going to have a boxing fight, but I don't think it ever happened. But yeah, I mean, it's still bread and circus, but it had more soul. Sport in the old days, it had more soul, by far and away more soul. But so did everything. But that was just their way of getting to people. They had more soul. Now they've got everyone by the balls. They will push their agenda through it. Gerwin looks like he's got roid rage. He's probably on the Dynabol, bro. Some normies' entire lives are all around football. It's so pathetic. I mean, it's so tragic. You just sit them aside and say to them, listen, man, you're talking about a young guy being paid millions who, because of some spurious sport with some spurious rules, which involves putting an inflated ball in the back of a net, you worship this. What is wrong with you? Oh, it's just a bit of fun. They'll use abstract. It's a bit of fun. Oh, I'm not really. No, it's your life. You're a bum. You don't care about what's going on in politics or economics or what's really happening in the world. You don't care about them poisoning your kids at school psychologically and physically. You just care that your Ngubu is better than their Ngubu and has managed to put more balls in the back of their net than that your Ngubu has done more balls in the back of the net than their Ngubu. It's ridiculous. I mind when they had ashtrays in Willie's, the good old days. I mean, even the pubs, I don't agree with smoking at all. I think it's bad. I don't know. It's a bad habit. But the pubs had way more soul back in the day. And it's always been said for years. I used to ignore it. People say, they want to clamp down on pubs because this is where people get to get together, talk about things, and express their own opinions rather than watch TV and read the papers. But now, what have you got in every pub? TV playing rubbish sport all the time. Situate, hello, bro. Got some Tesla stock. The lefty's giving it temporary discount. It will rebound. I never bought any stocks. So you're saying the lefties are giving it a temporary discount? It will rebound. What do you mean by that? Who's giving it a discount? Why? Or you mean the lefties dissing Tesla stock because of Elon Musk is allegedly right wing when he's just another puppet anyway? This looks like another distance fight. This has not been the best bill. Yeah. Fair enough, bro. If my back doesn't break, I bet I need another Drain the Lizard break because I'll tell you what, I really hurt my back like Thomas Carty hurt his leg, but I didn't cry. And I carried on with the live. This is what I'm having now. It's only 5%, right? This is like the equivalent of a beer. Caribbean rum with mango lime and mint flavoring. blood clot. What is it? Mojito. A mango mojito. A mango mojito. Oh, he's counted the Irish Mexicans getting a count, so it's 1 count each. This has probably been a really good fight. I've just ignored it, you know. Oh, he's going for Carvajal. He's good. I like a man who tries to stop another man. He's badly cut, McCrory. Badly cut. He's got 20 seconds of round 7 to stop. He's hurting Keenan Carvajal. He's hurting him. If it was a British ref, he probably would have stopped it by now. It looks like he's going to make the round. I remember when you used to walk in the pub and instantly the smoke would hurt your eyes. Yeah, but there was soul, bro. There was soul. Elon Musk wants Pajits chitting in the street. Yeah, he's imported all these Pajits, man. I told you I used to work for a major company, and they employed some director from India, and all he did was getting other Pajits, and they were so incompetent. So incompetent. The guy got sacked after a year because he was so bad. But this is happening throughout Canada and the US, weirdly. But Trump supports it. Oh, apparently, and they're all Vance or whoever, and they're like, oh, we don't have enough brains in America. We have to import it. How ridiculous can you be? You've got a nation of 350 million people who've innovated throughout the centuries, and now suddenly you need a bunch of Pajits. It's ridiculous, man. How can people fall for that? Well, they do. Buy stock in Raytheon. What's Raytheon, bro? Tell us what Raytheon is and tell us why we should buy stock. What's good about them? They are a truly depraved people. Yeah, they worship toilets. You know, they eat dung. They take a dump in the streets. Come on, man. Yeah. And I go, oh yeah, we've got this chess champion, and yeah, you got 1.5 billion people. Of course, one of them is going to have a brain. Oh, down goes Carvajal, and he's stopping it. McCrory comes back from a very bad cut and a knockdown to win. This was probably a great fight. I just didn't watch it because I'm busy chatting. Apparently, 40% of software engineer positions are Indians. So they are so incompetent. I mean, when I told you that, I was almost tearing my hair out having conversations with these idiots, man. Yes, Tommy Gunn, 1979. What's up, brother? Yes, Chubby, I would like to see the smoking and tobacco allowed indoors everywhere. Bring back the old school. Yeah, man, you used to be able to smoke on the tube. You used to be able to smoke on the bus. In the office, it would be normal. I even, in boxing shows, it'd be everywhere. In some ways, I don't agree with it because of other people inhaling smoke. But on the other hand, it's true that bars, offices had more soul when you could smoke. Weapons manufacturers, for obvious reasons. Oh, right, okay. So buy stock in Raytheon, their weapons manufacturer. Okay, that's probably a pretty good tip. All these American politicians as well have got huge blocks of stocks in these weapons companies, and that's why they push them. Because they know what's going to happen. So that's why they want war, because there's a lot of money in war. People don't understand. It will wreck a country, right? And kill a bunch of people, but also there's so much money in war. The big global banks lend both sides money at huge interest rates, and the arms manufacturers make so much money. So they played. I came into the room and all I heard was they eat dog. They actually do. In Amazon in America, you can buy dung cakes. Yeah. Vancouver's apparently overrun with sheep. Yeah. The stories I've heard, man. Even like, there was an Indian girl who was going out with a white guy, and then she was like saying, Indian men are the most revolting creatures. Cancer rates are the same or worse, even with smoking ban. Well, some people also say that what hurts you in smoking is not the tobacco. If it was organically grown tobacco without pesticides and chemicals, it wouldn't actually hurt you. It's because of all the chemicals they put in it. So, rumor has it, they inhale the Jenkin as well. Oh, Jenkum. Yeah, there's this drug which is popular in South Africa. No joke. It's called Jenkum. And it mixture, they put feces and urine in a bag, and they let it ferment in the sun, and then they get high off it. I mean, blood clot. Roy Castle introduced Daddy Freddy to skunk weed, his homegrown, on Record Breakers. True story. Who's Daddy Freddy, bro? Roy Castle, did he? Yeah. It wrecks the country, but think of the money to be made rebuilding. Well, there's that as well. Okay, that's another good point. You know, then the countries have to borrow even more money off the banks to rebuild their country. Yeah, and the global banks make so much money out of war. They love it. They love it. When they just kill people they don't like. I met Eric Bristow once. Love you, bro. Ah, the crafty Cockney. He's quite big. I thought he was not a wrong one. I thought he was a bit he had a nasty streak to him. I don't know if it's true. I watched a few old bullseyes. Where's my bullseye gone? Oh, me back. Where's Bully? Where is Bully? We've had Ernie. We've had Ngubu. We had Ben Whitaker. Where did I put me? Oh. Okay. Let me ask a question. What was Matthew Saad Mohammed's real name? Oh, you took too long. It's Matthew Franklin. Although that wasn't his real name. He was actually adopted. They found out his real name was something completely different. Matthew something else. Anyway, there's a Rich, the boxing historian, does some good documentaries on boxing. He's even been signed up by Amazon Prime, which is nice. Joking sounds right. Well, yes. Daddy French was a reggae MC, a Rasta man who broke the syllables per minute record. Yeah, that's a pretty random record. Matthew Franklin. Yeah, sorry, bro, but you weren't quick enough, man. You've only got half a minute, and then it's over. I think Bully's checked his dictionary. Actually, genuinely, I mean, you might say it's a bread and circus and all that, and yeah, it is. But after a tired day of red pilling, I remember, and I was like, you know what? I remember watching Bullseye at my Gramps and that, and I was like, you know what? I got some nostalgia. I watched some old Bullseye programs. Jim Bowman was funny, man. Apparently, he was all the time pissed. What's probably the Cuban cigars? Pure organic leaves. Well, there probably isn't. That's the thing. But they're banned in the USA because they come from Cuba. Funny you say that, Shelby. There was a company that produced harmless cigarettes in the 50s or 60s. Philip Morris took them to court and never saw the light of day. Well, that's no surprise. Meanwhile, they were paying doctors to say that, hey, I smoke Lucky Strike because it's toasted. They're the best tasting cigarettes. He was abandoned in Franklin Harbor when he was 4. Yeah, it is actually quite a sad story. He was abandoned. He got picked up. He could barely talk. Apparently, he was feral. And he was born to some junkie. And apparently, they found out who she was eventually. And so he was adopted. And they called him Matt Franklin after Benjamin Franklin. And then he changed his name to Matthew Saad Mohammed. And then I think he's dead now, unfortunately. He passed away. He took so much punishment. Now, I watched it on Rich the Historian. It was just like, man. Oh, yeah, he's a warrior, but blood clot. And, he's one of those guys that said, it's fun. He had a huge entourage because obviously he was, he wanted friends and stuff. I don't know who adopted him. It may have been a white couple, actually. But he pissed all his money out of the wall with a huge hangers on and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, Jim Bob was incredible. Jim Bob was old school. I was so pleased that he wasn't one of the BBC nonsense. I think it was ITV. Was Buzz at ITV? I think so. Yeah, I remember laughing one day when they bet all the prizes they'd won. I'd failed to win a caravan. Good time. Yeah, it was old school, and it was. You got your bending bullet. Where's my bending bullet? You win your bending bullet, your tankards, and your darts. We had a great day, Jim. I think we'll let someone else have a chance. That was great, man. They tried to re-release it a couple of times, but without Jim Bowman, it don't work, man. Tommy, you were super smashing great, mate. He was super special. And I had that short, fat guy. All he did was settle in, take your time, settle in. And he'd just count the scores of the darts. Tony, was his name Tony? Is croquet a good sport? Well, it's probably clean. I don't know. Maybe they take beta blockers. Okay. Unbelievable. UFC Fight Pass are trying to sell themselves to me. It just said we've had 2 out of 3 early finishes. If you have one more early finish, you get a free month of UFC Fight Pass. Yeah, I think I'd give it a miss. It's cringe when footballers score a goal. They run over, foaming at the mouth, and a 55-year-old NPC hug each other. It's so cringe. It's so cringe. Tony Green, says Sonia Blade. Sonia Blade's from back in the day. Yeah. Tony Green, that's right, man. Tony Green. Settle in. Take your time. That's what he'd say, innit? But, even he had some kind of character. He was a good darts player, I think, as well. Right, lads, you've had a good day. You got your bended bully, your tank of the darts, and your BFH. Bus fare home. Stay out of the black and in the red. Nothing in this game for 2 in a bed. And the prizes were whack as anything. Speedboats and stuff. And those were the main prizes. Even the small prizes were whack, a bunch of crockery, ZX81. you got your sets of plates and stuff like that. He should have retired after the first Dwight Braxton, later known as Dwight Muhammad Quawi. Yeah, he never got robbed by Don King. I mean, it's easy to say that, but he couldn't do anything else. And all his hangers-on were burning his money. I mean, I think he retired at one point and went to work in a warehouse, but then just came back, That's the plastic briefcases. Oh, the plastic briefcases. These NBCs also abuse rich footballers, call them a wanker, and thinks it gives them the edge. Then they take the bus fare home to their council. Football on his way home to Mansion and Model Y. I mean, I've got nothing wrong with a proper working man, but, when the proper working man spends all his money on football, oh, no. What? What fight's this? Oh, I thought it was a female fight. This is the main fight. Is it? Dino? Is it Dean Sutherland vs. Callum Walsh? I hope it is, because this way it finishes. I was scared it might be 2 a.m. or so. So Jimmy Savile was a dreadful human. Growing up, I thought he was quite funny, to be honest. I like your honesty, bro. Blank to blank, £25 top prize. I like Blockbusters as well. That was in the afternoon. You remember Blockbusters? Henry Kelly from Ireland. Henry Kelly, Blockbusters. What else was there, man? I never watched things like Blankety Blank. Who's the one with the big chin? And then there's the nonce. Who's the nonce one who sodomized the guy in his pool to death? Cuddly toy, yeah, man. I like the PPs, Bob. Yeah. It's easy to get nostalgic, right, about the old days, because like the 80s and 90s were better because the agenda wasn't quite pushed as much, but they were just building up to it. They were still robbing people and mistreating them. When was the last time we had a proper civilian uprising in the UK? The poll tax riots, maybe that. Oh, yeah, Michael Barrymore. Oh, he's wrong, isn't he? I can't believe he got off with that. Oh, yeah. Oh, he did it dive bombing. That's how he had incredibly bad internal anal injuries because he dive bombed in the pool. How many kids dive bomb in the pool every fucking, excuse my language, every year? And they don't end up with these terrible injuries. It's sickening, man. What do you think Chisel's mental state will be in 10 years? He'll be talking to lampposts and blowing bubbles. Early on in his career, he was running down women in the street and spanking them on his lap. His CTE is substantially worse. Unfortunately, he's been in so many hard fights as well. You know, I remember him getting absolutely battered by Vitaly Klitschko over 12 rounds. And even then I was thinking, that guy's got to retire in a couple of years. Henry Kelly was a generational talent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much talent it takes to be a game show host, but you've got to have something. Bruce Forsyth, Bob Holmes, yeah. Look how they treat the miners. Yeah, getting rid of that. Yeah, I mean, all those working class towns and fisheries as well. A place like Hull had a great fishing industry, all destroyed. Monkhouse has got Bob Monkhouse. What did he do, man? Was that over 1 million people turn up in London to protest the Corvées, but the revolution will not televise? Yeah, good point. There was massive, what's it called? I don't know, protests. You'd say protests against it, but they and the media, the corrupt media, would pretend that there was almost no one there, and they're all far right wing conspiracy theorists. Yeah, what a load of nonsense. I hope this is the main match because I don't know how much longer I can go. We've had one super chat from Burp, and my boy gave me my boy James Smith kindly bought me a beer or more. I don't know. Oh yeah, Stop the War vs Iraq 2003. Yeah, thank you for reminding me of that. Didn't make any difference, obviously, though, did it? Didn't make any difference. You know. History tells us the poor, white class, middle class get the more chance of an uprising. Sorry, let me reread it. History tells us that the poorer the working class and middle classes get, the more chance of an uprising when an extremist party get in. Well, that's why they keep us happy with benefits, with football, with bread and circus. Like I said, if you give them bread and circus and shelter, then you can just abuse the people. And the benefit system is, for some people, it makes more sense to be on benefits than work. And then just sit there watching TV and getting programmed. Thank you, Mr. Tommy Gunn, 1979, £2, Viva La Chubby. Thank you, bro. I think I had to pay for UFC Fight Pass because I couldn't get a decent stream. And it cost me $6.99. But hopefully, with the buy me a beers and the 2 super checks, I paid that off. I still have to pay £36 a month for StreamYard because they've gone up now. It's ridiculous. We're all right wing now. Anyone who doesn't, it's become a slur, hasn't it? I mean, the whole dichotomy of right and left wing is nonsense anyway. And the whole, I'm really liberal. No, you're not. You're fascist. You're philosophically fascist. You just liberal, so-called. You just allow certain degeneracies, and you think you're a good person. Lefties cheer for war now. It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, they're supposed to be anti-war, and you get in the papers. Even like, these papers, the Mirror, the Sun. It doesn't matter. They're just a different skin to the same story, the same Reuters, Associated Press story, and the agenda. And they'll be cheering. Oh, look at this tank being destroyed by a drone, and they're laughing about it. And it's like there's people in there that don't want to be in this war, and they're being burnt alive. And you think it's funny? It's sickening. Liam in chains. The biggest issue is the wealth divide. Left and right is all theatre. Absolutely. The rich billionaires know this. And to protect their interests, will blame it solely on immigration instead of their greed. I mean, immigration is part of their plan. They like to simplify things as well. Anyway, they'll find anything to blame it on, and eventually, the only people they're blaming are the people for their own mistakes. Well, it's not even their mistakes; they're doing it on purpose. It's part of their agenda. They're obeying their masters. Immigration is certainly an issue, certainly, but it's part of the plan and the agenda to destroy any kind of nationalism, any kind of unity in a country. Because when you got people fighting amongst each other all the time, then they're not going to fight the elites, are they? They said the US has evidence of Peter Mendelssohn, nice, banging 15-year-old rent boys to blackmail Blair. Yeah. Blair is also very fruity. What was his name now? So he went to Bow Street Magistrates when he was caught toilet trading. And he called himself, he used his middle names to represent himself. It's still out there. There's loads of stories about Blair. Without further ado, Retro in the house. Second. Oh, you mean your second super check? Yeah, thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Oh, I've paid for this dross. But thankfully, I get another free month of a UFC pass if this finishes inside the distance. So I'm so hoping if it finishes inside the distance, I'll jump up and down and I'll put Callum Walsh's name on my back. Time for a shekel. I know I've hurt my back a bit, but Tony Blair stayed on Epstein Island. Yeah, they all did, man. I mean, I knew about Epstein back years ago. I tell people about it, and they just sit there with a stupid look on their face and look at their watch to find out when Strictly Come Dancing was coming on. Remember that German politician who was licking toilet rooms in public toilets and munching on the toilet brush? Yeah, and then I bet he's still in power. And wasn't there the one that got battered in the batty hole in the Senate or the Congress in America in his office? I mean, nuts. Blair looks like a movie villain. He is a movie villain, bro. But he's not a movie villain. He's a real life villain. Pure evil. He made almost £100 million, and this is back in the day. When did he come out of power, Blair? What was it, 2005 or something? Yeah, he made. So you imagine how much that is worth today. 80 to 100 million pounds when he was in power, and he owned 26 properties. A supposed socialist, and he passed the human rights law. Why? Well, apart from the fact it's another piece of arbitrary legislation that you can interpret any way, but his Cherie Blair, she's a hideous witch. She was a partner in one of the biggest human rights firms, so he made even more money. So, Frank Boff. You misspelled it. It's Bough, but I know what you're talking about, Frank Boff. Yeah, he was one of the first ones, wasn't he? He was dressed up in women's underwear. This is a humiliation ritual. Women's underwear doing cocaine with brasses, and he was like alleged Mr. Clean. But that's how they push their degeneracy. They get someone like that who's supposed to be clean, or like Philip Schofield, and they get caught and humiliated. Okay? But that's just another way of pushing brasses, cocaine, degeneracy, batty business. Shovel and Epstein are the tip of the iceberg. Absolutely. Convenient now they have the Muslim grooming gangs to divert their attention away from. Well, there is a theory that there's a lot more in that. The reason those gangs were protected is because they were getting vulnerable kids, and the police. The only people the police arrested at the beginning were the parents of the girls that complained, and they arrested a 13-year-old girl who'd been gang raped for being drunk and disorderly. It's insane, man. Do you believe in the collusion? Of course, it's quite clear, man. Come on, bro. Slippery kid. Yeah, he's another wrong one. Right, let's look at the fights. So Callum Walsh is opening up on Dean Sutherland. Sutherland's leg slightly went there. Dean Sutherland is I think he's 17-1. I think he's American. Maybe wrong. Callum Walsh is meant to be a up-and-coming Irish star. Nice. I like his footwork. He's on the toes. Like I said, you can tell a good boxer because they take that slight half step out of range and then come back. But it's the beginning. Have you seen the recent video where the powers that be actually admit the truth? The whole world is a stage and they create the stories and everything. No, but it doesn't surprise me. They often like to shove the truth in our face. They laugh at people. They enjoy humiliating. They enjoy, you're looking good, Walsh. Nice combinations. This Dean Sutherland is probably just another one of those tough guys who hasn't got the skills to really offer much. Blair brought up loads of Iraq land and stuck the first mobile network mast on it after invading them. Wow, I did not know that. Thank you, Sonia Blade. That is interesting. Not surprising. Duke Trudeau, aka Fidel Castro's son. Yeah. They got apparently what's his name? What's Trudeau's father called? Something Pierre Trudeau or something. And he was into cuckolding, and he had this younger wife, and he went to Cuba. And made friends with Castro, and down goes, that's got to be it. Down goes Dean Fitzgerald. That is a nasty knockout. Wow. That was brutal by Callum Walsh at the end of the first round. Wow. Well, at least now I can eat. And now I'll get my 3 month of UFC fight pass. He looks good, Walsh. I like this Walsh from Cork, from the beautiful county of Cork in Ireland. Let's replay that. Now wait for him to get up, man. That was a brutal. But sorry, Duke, yeah. And they were intercuckolding, and apparently Castro impregnated this woman when Trudeau's father was not even in the country. They traced the date back. Yeah, he's definitely true. What's his name? Fidel Castro's son. Macron married to a transformer, great to him at 14, sickening. Starmer married to a small hat. No one ever seen their children. Starmer is a fruit, another warmonger. Let's see this knockout. Okay. Jab, jab, jab. Boom! Overhand right. Another jab. Usually they wait for him to be okay before showing a replay. Blap. A right hook. Bang on the chin, as Jim Watt used to say. Bang on the chin. Absolutely flattened him in the first round. Boom. Whoa, his head hits the canvas. Nasty knockout. I like this Callum Walsh. So they suddenly care about Ukraine's borders, but don't care about protecting their own. Does it make? Of course, it's so ridiculous, man. It's just a joke. But you can see it. But the problem is, illogically you can see it, and it doesn't make sense. But it does make sense when you know their agenda. It's like, oh, now you know why they're doing it, you know? Starmer's a clear batty man, yeah. Extremely fruity, and he's a psycho, yeah, like Mendelssohn. A right hook to the chin, yeah. I mean, that was a brutal knockout. They put a crown on Callum's head. Dean Sutherland's going, oh, what happened? I didn't get hit, did I? Quite often you get people get knocked sparkle, and they think they got stopped on a cut, or they think the fight's still going on. Do you remember Tommy Morrison? One of my favourite fighters, Tommy the Duke Morrison, after he got KO'd by Ray Mercer, he was still ducking and dodging and weaving in his corner because his brain was so scrambled. That was a brutal knockout. And, you know, the ref allowed it because he enjoyed watching Morrison get pummeled. That's the truth. Due to racial reasons. Did you hear the programming on the ball fight the other night? After kicking the guy, the ref said he should obviously DQ him. Commentary said, good refereeing for having a word. Yeah, they're pathetic, man. The commentaries, man. You meant Gina thought the first Smith fight was still going on. Yeah, I remember that. Exactly. Well, I've seen guys get knocked out and think the fight hasn't even started. Happy New Year, lads. It was funny. What was that from? Where's the quote coming from? What's the time? Right, I'll finish up in 5 minutes. Thank you to all. I've got to say thanks to James Smith as well, getting me buy me a coffee. My boy Bert. Ernie says thank you. Don't talk about ovens. Tommy Gunn with his £2. Viva la Chubby. Thank you, bro. Without further ado, Retro with his second super check. Thank you, brother. Yeah, thank you all. I mean, it wasn't the best night's boxing. Oh, I've won a free 1 month UFC pass. Scan the code to redeem. Oh, I better. Oh, yeah. I don't think I'll bother. I'm going to take a picture of it just for a laugh. Fiore, Happy New Year. Hilarious. You search Fidel Castro and it says people also search for Justin Trudeau. Yeah, he looks identical as well. It's ridiculous. Oh, well, there we go, guys. At least we got an early finish, so we don't have to carry on anymore. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for the super checks. Thank you for the buying me a beers. Thank you for watching the Triple B show. I'll see you next week. I've got I'm busy, but I've got to release a lot of videos too. So good night, everyone. Have a great evening. Sleep well. If you're in another part of the world, I hope your day goes well. Thanks, Chubby. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Sonia Blade. Yeah, keep being red pill as many people can. Tony Perez refereeing and Mercer Morrison, Norton Cooney, Collins Resto, Tua Ruiz fight. Say this. Wow, that's a great point. Because those are some of the most brutal fights I've ever seen. Norton Cooney, Morrison Mercer, That's a great point. Thank you, bro. I might even put that down. I might make a video on him because that's of real interest, man. He's probably a failed boxer, right? Or he's never been a boxer, and he's jealous of these guys with their money and their boxing. He enjoys watching them getting hurt. So I'm going to put that down. Worst ref, sadistic ref, Cooney, Morrison, Ruiz, Tua. That was brutal. That was 24 seconds. He came back well from it, though. Collins, Resto. Poor Billy Collins basically killed himself. The latest getters. Yep. Great stream as always. Thanks, brother. Yep. Thank you all. Okay. Good night. I will see you in the week. Peace in the Middle East, guys. And keep being red stream.